It is after 9. We can go ahead and get started.
Okay, thank you, Autumn. Good morning, everyone. Oops. Okay. You are attending the Animal Matters Commission hearings for April 6, 2026. Please turn off or silence your cell phones. The Animal Matters Commission was established and is conducted in accordance with Article 12 of the Anne Arundel County Code. These are administrative hearings and by nature are informal, which means you are not hampered by rules of evidence. However, please be aware that you are testifying under oath. Each party will have their opportunity to state their case. After each party states their case, they will have an opportunity to ask questions of the other party. Please do not interrupt the other party. You will be given ample time to talk. In many cases, we are aware there's a history. You may briefly tell the commission about that history, but please focus on the issue at hand. After each case, the commission will have open deliberations. During these deliberations, the public may not participate. If the commissioners have an additional question, you may answer that question. No further information will be heard and a decision will be rendered. This decision is a recommendation to the Director of Animal Services or their representative. The recommendation of the commission will be taken into consideration and a final decision will be made by the Director of Animal Services or their designated representative. If, as the defendant in the case, you are unhappy with the decision of the commission, you may appeal. For citation cases, appeals are made through the District Court of Maryland. For administrative orders like potentially dangerous, or vicious order, appeals are made through the County Board of Appeals. Be advised that when we are discussing cruelty cases, the commission is not voting to return the animals to the owner right away. If the commission votes for the owner to have the animals back, they will have to wait until their district court cases are adjudicated. Autumn, please call our first case.
If you are participating in the case of Greening versus Jensen, please use the raise hand function so I can promote you to panelist at this time. And then here's Greg. So we'll go ahead and promote him as well. Health department's here. All right, and then Mr. Jensen, if you could turn your camera on and unmute yourself, please.
Good morning.
Good morning. If you both could, all participants, raise your right hand for me. Do you swear and affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
If you could state your name and address for the record.
Keith Jensen, and I reside at 2634 Bard Owl Way, Odenton, Maryland, 21113.
Okay. And then Elliot and Marianne, if you could just state your name and address for the record. Can anybody hear them? I'm not able to hear them. I think the sound, like your microphone may not be working.
I couldn't hear.
You can hear?
No, I could not.
Oh. There you go.
Oh, you got us now?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Go ahead and state your name and address, please. Both
Sure.
of you.
Elliot Greening, 2632 Bard Alloway, Odenton, Maryland. Marianne Salazar, and the same address.
I will turn it over to the commission.
Thank you, Autumn. I believe, Mr. Jensen, you are the complainant and filed the affidavits.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
if you would please, go ahead and explain.
So,
Thank
this case involves, and I've got a document. This case involves documented animal control violations supported by time-stamped Ring camera footage that occurred on multiple dates, starting what we recorded in November through March. These include both repeated animal disturbance violations, primarily late at night and early morning, and multiple incidents of animals running at large. This is not an isolated incident. It reflects a consistent pattern of behavior demonstrating a failure to control the animals, and more importantly, a disregard for both the law and surrounding neighbors. In total, since November, there were over 140 nuisance violations that were recorded and been provided to the animal control. Including since being served, there have been an additional 24 or more animal nuisances. Over the years, the neighbors and I have made multiple attempts to address these directly with Mr. Greening. These efforts were unsuccessful, and the matter was then elevated to our HOA, which was also disregarded, and the violations continued. The impact's been significant, not just for my family, but for those around us. The constant barking at all hours of the night has been a constant. And it's affected not just myself, but the neighbors on the other side of Mr. Greening and several along Meandering Way. In addition to these, there's also been noise ordinance complaints and health department related complaints. Additionally, all 4 dogs were unlicensed until Mr. Greening was served, and at which point he chose to get his dogs licensed. So we're at this point where I didn't want to have to go this far, but at this point I had to turn it over and take it to animal control to get a resolution. I've got several that Autumn and I had met, and we've got several of the camera ones. Autumn, are you just going to go right down the order that was provided, or through date? So this, and I'm not sure which date with this. This is the first one. This occurred February 13th at 12:35 in the morning, and this one specifically. This was the running at large. So if you actually bounce over to the front camera for February 13th at 2:26, and then it'll show his dogs running across while they were bringing the garbage out. And unbeknownst to us, it appears that this occurs on a multiple frequency. And for this one, the dogs were running for about 10 minutes between the back and the front, untethered by anybody. On the 16th, and we'll just run down through the date, the 16th at 12:42 in the morning. You got the white and black dog. You can clearly see which ones are barking. We've also got their brown mixed dog, because there are 4 large dogs that reside there. You want to go to the next one for the 21st at 3:17 in the morning? And then you can bounce to the 21st at, or pardon me, the 22nd at 12:02 in the morning. We've got the 23rd at 12:27 in the morning. I'm not sure if that's got. Sometimes the voice activated sometimes may have missed, but we can skip that one. The 25th at 11:12 p.m. We can go to the next, the 26th at 6:20 in the morning. And then we've got following at 6:23 that morning. And then the last couple are from the deck that also show the running at large during late at night. And you can see where the arrow is. You will see the dogs come out of the gate and then just run through the common area. And this was unbeknownst to the HOA that this was occurring. We'd just like resolution for the dogs to bark. Again, it's not just me, but there are right now 4 other homeowners that are regularly disturbed, and we just want it to stop. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Do any of the commission members have any questions for Mr. Jensen? If not, then Mr. and Mrs. Greening, you can go ahead and tell us your thoughts, please.
Thank you. So I'm looking at the affidavit here. It says multiple neighboring households have independently observed and experienced these conditions over an extended period. We have not heard any complaints about our dogs. Actually, other than what was submitted to the HOA in the past 5.5 years that we have lived here, we have not gotten a complaint from any of our neighbors.
Not directly, verbally, not written, not
In person, nothing. Another thing we noticed is that in the affidavit, it says the dogs run freely, bark loudly, and growl at one another while they are at large. As you can see from the video evidence submitted, you cannot hear the dogs, and if they weren't caught on camera, otherwise no one would have known they were there. They were under our direct supervision. We believe it was a low risk situation, and they returned to our yard on command shortly after being outside. Anything else?
no, because we have moments for closing statements at the end, correct? Oh, I'm sorry, we can't hear you.
Sorry. Now would be the time to just go ahead and tell us everything you want us to hear, please.
Sure thing. All right, so sorry, we have a prepared statement here. The complainant is the only person to have complained about our dogs in the last 5.5 years that we are aware of. We do not refute that our dogs have created a disturbance during quiet hours or that they were not at large. This is the first time that we have been made aware of these issues. We have not been contacted by our neighbors, the HOA, or law enforcement prior to receiving these citations. When we took the dogs out of our backyard, it was late at night. They did not interact with any people or animals. They did not make any noise that you can hear in the video evidence, as we stated.
Oh, and they're outside of our back deck.
Yes. Yeah, sorry.
Or back area.
And they were under our direct supervision, and they returned to our home shortly after on command. We considered it a low-risk situation, but since being made aware of the issue, we ensure that our dogs are leashed every time they leave our property. And after being made aware of the noise disturbances during quiet hours, we started closing our only dog door at 11 p.m. and keeping it closed until after 7 a.m. If the dogs do go out in between that time, they are directly supervised to ensure that they are not causing a disturbance. After the HOA and health department approached us regarding the pet waste disposal, which was mentioned in the affidavit, we immediately took steps to fix the issue and worked with the health department to ensure it was corrected. Currently, we have no HOA violations. Currently, we have no ongoing investigation with the health department. That was considered resolved. We did not have the chance to correct these before receiving 11 citations at once. But we have corrected them since.
And I think that's where kind of our thing is, like, we're not arguing that, you know, dogs barking during quiet hours is a noise issue. Of course it is, sure. Our concern is that it wasn't brought up to us. You know, you say like it's an issue for you, it's an issue for multiple houses. As far as I lived here, no one has said anything to me. I haven't heard anything said to Elliot. When the pet waste in our back area was brought to us as a concern, we have hired cleaners now who service our back area once a week, and that's no longer a concern. Mr. Jensen stated that since being served, there have been 24 more instances. And I would be very interested to see that, because we have been very diligent about now knowing that it's a concern. I think when we were served, I would probably say that first week, maybe 2 to 3 during quiet hours. We had let them out, but we were there watching them, and they had barked, and I immediately was like, okay, come on, come on. So it's anytime that they're out during quiet hours, we're there with them. And as soon as they start the first bark, second bark, I'm like, okay, come on, back inside. We're trying to now put our dogs on a schedule and make sure that if they are let out into our back deck during quiet hours, that we do our best to control their noise levels as to not be a disturbance. So as far as I know, during that period of transition, I honestly, during quiet hours, I honestly cannot count more than maybe 3-4 times. And again, this is a period of transition. And I would love to ask Mr. Jensen, truthfully, have you not seen an improvement during quiet hours with the noise complaints, with the dogs, with the barking? They also have not been at large. We make sure that they are on leash. We don't let them out in the back area anymore. But these changes happened because this was brought to our attention.
So I'm not sure if we had actually been served at this point. I see that the, what is this, March 4th, I don't think that we had been served. I don't know what day we actually were served, but, you know, like we said, can't fix a issue if we don't know it's an issue.
Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Greening. Mr. Jensen, I have the same question for you. Do you feel as if the situation has improved since the efforts that the Greenings have made?
Yes, I do agree it has. And I do disagree. Our neighbor, Mr. Smith, and I have attempted on occasion, it was before Miriam moved in, that we had attempted to talk because Mr. Smith is up at 2 a.m. So he goes to bed early, and there are those. But it has improved. We just would like to see a continuation because they brought it up. The noise complaints that occurred last summer, 3 times law enforcement had to come, and each time they had to come back to ask him to turn it down. And so there's just kind of an ongoing where we would just prefer, and the reason it's me and not the others, there's just some concern, just the approachability with the neighbors. They feel more comfortable if I went ahead and did it, which was the reason that none of them came for today's meeting as well. There's just some concerns on theirs. They're more than willing to sign affidavits, but that was their big thing.
Thank you very much, all three of you. Commission members, do any of you have questions for either of the parties? Yes, sir. Mr. Fuentes, I believe you have a question?
Yes. So I'm wondering from the group. I'm sorry if I say your name wrong. I'm looking here. Greening party. Are you in any way trying to get a reduction in the citations? Are you fighting any of the citations, or do you agree with the citations? Just appealing, because you're obviously appealing. I just want to know if because you said you've made improvements, and so are you contesting any of those citations? Or go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, I think 11 citations at once is a little excessive, especially when we had no warning whatsoever.
And no time to make an improvement when it was brought to our attention.
And, since things have improved since, we're hoping that these are dismissed.
So all of them, you want them all dismissed?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any other questions? Before we start deliberations, Mr. and Ms. Greening, I want to thank you for the efforts that you have made, and I'm sure everyone else appreciates them. So if there are no more questions, we will go ahead and close for our deliberations. Okay, Mr. Fuentes, thanks for coming this morning. We appreciate it. What are your thoughts about this case?
So after reviewing the evidence and also hearing the testimony of each party, it's very clear that there is a violation here. But we did see that both parties agreed that there had been some improvement. So I'm willing to uphold a portion of the citations. I think 11 citations is a little bit too much. So I would be I would make an motion to uphold at least half, so there's some kind of record. But I'm also willing and open to hear what everyone else has to say and uphold all the citations. But I think 11 is a little bit too much. And I think by holding half the citations, there'll be a little bit of accountability, but it's good to see that there has been some improvement.
Thank you. I think that makes a lot of sense. Lieutenant McGrath, good morning. What are your thoughts?
Good morning. How are you? I agree with that. I think we should at least uphold I'm going through the citations now. It looks like they're all animal disturbance.
No, there are,
And one running at large. Okay, yeah.
there's six animal disturbances and 4 at large.
I would say that we would uphold one of those, one of each, one running at large and one animal disturbance, and
Okay.
then get rid of the rest.
Nicole,
Uh,
what are your thoughts?
Yep. So I believe that this is a recurring issue despite the, I guess it was agreed that it has improved, but it's still happening. And so I maybe will come off a couple of them, but there's evidence for each of these, and the fact that you don't know and it's not been brought to your attention does not mean that you can continue to violate the county code.
Thank you. Stacy, welcome to your second commission.
Oh, I think this is like my third or fourth.
Oh, third. Okay, sorry.
But thank you. Thank you anyway. Yeah, I agree with Nicole because like I cannot imagine being a neighbor. Like it quite frankly, they just seem very inconsistent. Like uh, uh, they I am so neurotic about never inconveniencing my neighbors. Like I have a townhome. I live in basically the same situation they do, and just I'm so cognizant. Just everyone has different schedules, things like that. And personally, like they're letting their dogs out until 11 p.m. Like there's nurses, things like that, that are already in bed at like 8 p.m. I just I think I totally agree with Nicole. Just because they weren't aware of it, there's still county code. Um, and it just seems like their comments of we thought it was low risk to have the dogs off leash, things like that. It just seems like they're just very unconcerned, and don't understand the seriousness of where 4 large dogs, we've all seen terrible things happen. I think like limiting it to 2 citations is just, a small quantity is just not quite appropriate for the seriousness. I'm more concerned specifically about letting 4 dogs off leash, particularly. I know they say they're not doing it anymore, but and whatever the noise seems to have lessened, but it's still going to affect their neighbors. So no matter what they do, if they keep all 4 dogs, that their neighbors are still going to be incurring this at ours.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Mr. Fuentes mentioned in his comments that he would make a motion. So would you like to go ahead and do that?
Yes, I'll make a motion to uphold 6 violations, which would be 3 of the animal running at large and 3 of animal disturbance.
Okay, there were only 4 at large.
I know.
There
I
are
just
4 at large and 6
be-
barking.
well, I have 7 here, animal disturbance, and I have 4 on the agenda. Maybe I'm looking it wrong.
Yes, I'm sorry. You're right. There were 7 barking and 4 running at large.
Yeah. I'm just saying that we could just uphold 3 from each category.
Okay,
And it's not exactly half because there's 11, but 3 from each, balance out the weight. And we can decide which citations we uphold, but I would say at least 6, I'm upholding 6. That's my motion.
okay. Do we have a second? Okay, thank you, Stacy. Okay, all those in favor of upholding 3 of the noise complaints and 3 of the at-large. Do I have that correct? All those in favor of three noise, 3 at-large. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Those against? And two against. Okay, so we go with 3, or excuse me, with 6, with 3 of the noise, which would be Autumn. I would recommend that we go with the 3 latest ones of the noise complaints, and then I guess 3 of the latest. So if they are in numerical order, it would be 809, 810, 811, 802, 803, and 804
Okay.
that we would uphold. Does that work for you, Autumn?
Yes, I'm just noting it down.
Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. And I'm sure that if it doesn't continue to be good, we'll hear some more.
And then we'll dismiss the rest of those.
Yes.
I am ready. You are.
Yeah. Who is our next one going to be?
It is Singleton versus Temple.
Okay. Thank you.
You are a party of the case for Singleton versus Temple. Please use the raise hand function at this time so I can promote you to panelist. And then when I promote you, if you could just accept the invitation. Unmute. You could unmute yourselves and turn your camera on.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, there's a slight echo.
Yeah, I got phone and the computer going. I'm gonna hang the phone up and try the computer. Okay?
Right, sounds good. Yes, I promoted her to panelist and she declined. Do you want her to join? Mr. Temple? Mr. Singleton, if you have two sound devices going, can you just turn the volume down on one of them? Mr. Singleton, are you able to turn your camera on? I'm gonna give him a call real call. Let's see. This way. All right, Mr. Singleton, can you turn your, there you go. Now I can't hear you. If you join from, so if you're on your computer right now, if you join from your phone for the voice, you're just gonna have to turn the sound off on your computer, or you could just join from your phone.
How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now, sir. Thank you.
All right. We're good now then.
If I get you both to raise your right hand for me. Do you swear and affirm under penalty of perjury that the testimony is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
And it's actually Mr. Temple. Yours is the one that's echoing.
Probably mine, actually.
If Mr. Singleton, if you can just state your name and address for the record.
James Singleton, 1135 Wharf Drive, Pasadena, Maryland, 21122.
What I'm going to do is when you're speaking, Mr. Temple, we'll just have to all be muted. So when you're done speaking, if you could mute yourself so the echo is not there, I'd greatly appreciate it. And then Mr. Temple, if you could state your name and address for the record. Could anybody hear him speak? No. Mr. Temple, if you could try disconnecting your microphone and then reconnecting it because we can't hear you.
What about now? Okay.
You could go ahead and just state your name and for the address for the.
Okay. My name is Kendall Temple, Jr. I live at 1173 Ridge Drive, Pasadena, Maryland, 21122.
Yeah, I will turn it over now to the commission.
Thank you. And welcome everybody to the commission hearing this morning. Mr. Temple, you are the complainant, so if you would go ahead, please, and tell us why we are here and what happened.
I have two separate things that I filed for. So on November 14, 2025, I walk my dog through the neighborhood and have ever since he's been born. And he's a beagle, and we walk the same path all the time. And basically, on that evening, it was approximately about 10:20. Mr. Singleton lives on Wharf Drive, but there's also a vacant lot that he had fenced in, and there's two RVs there, and his fence that is where the property line is has been taken down partially so that his dogs can roam the whole property. And so, and you know, I've sent in pictures and everything. So that area, the dogs were in this area of the vacant lot. So you have his his fence, and then you have the another fence that was built with a gate that's probably 20 feet long, so each side is 10 by 10. So what had happened was we were on our normal route, walking down Wharf Drive, and what happens is Wharf Drive comes and then hits another street, and then it goes to the right and down, and Mr. Singleton lives right there on that corner. And when Wharf hits the road, we go to the left and then go down the following street, and that's right where his property and the vacant lot hit. And so that whole area I watched it over the last couple months slowly get fenced in. But so then on the night that on November 14th, we were actually taking a walk and we were heading down Wharf Drive, and we were probably about 2 or 3 houses, and we heard 2 dogs were barking really loud, and it kept getting louder and louder as we got closer, and and so when we got to the connecting street, we turned to the left, and the dogs were running along the fence line and barking really aggressive at us, and we just kept walking and went right along the road. And when you turn the corner, there's the gate is right there, and the gate is kind of bent, and so the one dog came over and was barking, pushing against the gate, and he was able to dig under. He was able to fit underneath it, and he came out and he came towards us, and he was, you know how dogs normally come up and they are, barking at first, and then they're just kind of interested. And he was silent for just a second, and then he came around and was trying to get at my dog from behind. And so he was attempting to bite him on his neck. And then his other dog also came out, and my dog's running around me. He was never off the leash. He has a harness and a leash. And what had happened was one dog would try and get behind to mount him, and I would yell at him, get back, and trying to just move my dog around behind me to keep. And while he's doing that, the reddish colored dog bit my dog on the neck and had him. And I yelled and tried to reach down to get him, but I was worried that he was going to bite me. But I was able to get him pulled apart. You can see in the pictures he has a puncture wound on both sides, and this went on back and forth. I was able to get one off, then the other attacked. It was like they were kind of tag teaming us, and you can see my arm from that. I ended up tearing my bicep on my arm, and I'm still in physical therapy for it because the dogs would yank and pull him this way, and then it went on for a couple minutes, and he did get a hold of my dog's neck, and the whole time I never actually hit the dog or anything like that, but I was able to get them both off, and we were able to escape and get away. My wife, we started running. We were trying to get away, and at the same time, they continued to kind of come towards us, but I was able to just get away, and I'd scream at them, and they would back off. But we finally got far enough away that we started walking back home. And of course, he's hurt. I don't know how bad it was. And we actually had to take him that evening to the hospital. And he had these 3 puncture wounds, and he had care there at the hospital in Annapolis. And I called my wife to come get him because I didn't know if he could walk back. And he's ever since then he's been extremely terrified from any other dogs that comes near him. And we were heading back, and I was just really concerned about him. This and you've there were 2 dogs involved. One was reddish. It wasn't exactly a pit bull breed, but it was probably something mixed. I don't know exactly. I don't know dogs like that. But he was a big dog. I'm a bigger dog, and then there was the other dog was similar to like a German Shepherd. I don't think it was exactly a German Shepherd, but it was kind of a kind of brownish mixed kind of color. And it was at night, so it's really hard to kind of determine that, exact details of both of the dogs, because um, it was very terrifying for both of us. We still don't walk that way very rarely. Um, and my Rusty ended up having to have care done to the puncture wounds, and myself. You saw the pictures of my arm. It actually tore my bicep. Um, it from the elbow and stuff from the attack, because they were just yanking him around, and it was extremely scary situation. Um, so that's one. Do I speak to both of the situations, that are we? How are we?
Yes, sir. Go
doing
ahead
this?
and tell us about your other situation. Thank you.
So that was in November, um, 14th, and so the day after Christmas, the 26th, I I was taking my dog out. It was in the afternoon time, and we just kind of, because we didn't want to go over there, we just kind of walked a couple blocks. And so I live on Ridge Drive, and then um, it dead ends, and there's another road, and we were coming back up. And when we got to, I was at the bottom of the street. When we turned the corner, a couple houses off, I saw his dog was loose, not on, no one was walking him. He was by himself, loose in the neighborhood. And he was just sitting there, like two houses up, and he noticed us, and we start walking up. Because I saw the dog before I turned. I go, oh, he's with an owner, I'm assuming, and it should be okay. And I didn't know it was the same dog at the time. Then I turned the corner. I went, oh my God, there's no one with him. He's off leash. And um, I realized that it was that dog. I was wanting to go and turn around and go back, but he ran up and approached us again and started barking at my dog, trying to come around and do the same thing again. But I screamed at him each time, "Get away, you're not gonna get him!" And that's how it was. And so he backed off, and so we start walking real fast up. And when he pulled over to the side, he vomited twice. And he vomited once, and then we got up, and then he came running back over and was trying to do the same thing that he did before and try and get at his neck. And so that occurred. And each time I would not let him eat. I kept Rusty behind me all the time. He never got to me. And then the second time he moved over and he threw up again. It wasn't just a little bit, it was a lot. So I was really concerned about that. And so did was he sick back then, back in November? And then when I got to my house, he came running up in our yard. We were in our yard. We're trying we're the last time that he approached us was on the street right there next to our neighbors, and we were able to get away. And when I got into my front yard, we're walking, he came up again and tried to get him, and I screamed at him again, and he backed off. But this time he came running, and he jumped up and he bit me on the back of my arm here. I actually have this was the new coat that I have. This is where he tore. He leaped up and bit me in the back of the arm, and then we took we I didn't I didn't realize it at the time because I was kind of in shock that one, he was out loose, and two, that I got bit. And so and he continued to follow us to the side door and even tried to come in the door, but I wouldn't let him. I got Rusty inside. And so I ended up having to go and I've had to go through 4 rabies shots at the hospital from this situation. And I did call the police, and the police came. So I believe that there was, I don't know, Autumn, if you have the police report or not, but they actually came and they searched for the dogs, and then I know that Mr. Singleton was approached by animal control, that they attempted or went to his house, um, or they, I don't know. I know that Autumn had mentioned that someone was going to go out to the house. I'm assuming that they did.
Pulling that up. Give me 1 second.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Temple. While she's doing that, how is your dog Rusty?
He healed
Good.
up. He had, right now if a dog barks that's loud, he is very timid, which hasn't been like him. Um, he doesn't like, he was, we were able to put him in boredom when we would go away. I'm concerned that what his interaction with other dogs is going to be like. I know he's scared at times when other dogs come around. So and gets frightened easier than before. And also myself from both of these incidents. Um, it took us a long time to even go on that side of the neighborhood. And we still, when we get near his house, just for me personally, my blood pressure goes up. I can feel that anxiety coming on. Are the dogs out again? Um, and
Okay.
So, that whole thing. And the other concern is, was that his house is very close to the elementary bus stop. And one of the neighbors had mentioned that he never lets his daughters go to the bus stop alone, or because of his dogs, because they have been aggressive towards them, but no one's ever approached him that I know of and said anything to him
Thank you.
directly. But there are other people who have raised a concern, because we were trying to figure out one whose dogs that was in the neighborhood. And so made Facebook post, and a person commented saying, "Oh yeah, that I know who you're talking about. Those dogs have are they're fearful of their kids, and we have a lot of kids now in the neighborhood that ride their bikes around and that sort of thing. So if they were to get out, God forbid something happened and they were to come after our kid, that'd be that's very
Yes, sir.
scary."
Thank you. I have two questions, sir. First of all, I'm wondering if I read the citations correctly, they're only against Bandit, the pit, and they don't include the other dog. And I'm just wondering
I
why.
thought that I had wrote there's a second dog that came
Yeah.
through the fence, through the opening of the gate, while the pit continued to bite Rusty, the second dog, repeatedly. Yeah, so it's
Right.
in there.
That's in your
Didn't
statement, but
I don't know
Autumn,
if it
could
was
you
written.
correct me if I'm wrong that the citations name only Bandit?
Correct. I'm looking at the affidavit
Okay.
now. The same animal was listed on the affidavit, the main page of it. But in the actual statements, it mentions
Right.
just the statements only mention.
When I got bit, it was just. I'm sorry. Go ahead, man.
No, you're fine. So the November incident, it's only mentioned. I'm just reading through. There's like 8 statements. It only mentions the pit type dog. I'm assuming is Bandit. And then there was a second dog. So bullet number 6 on his affidavit statement, which I'll share with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I'm more concerned about the citations themselves.
Yeah. So it is mentioned in his statement, but the citation itself is for the pit bull.
Okay.
Which, depending on the outcome of this, we can. I can address this with Mr. Temple.
Okay.
But I will note, so following the November incident, Mr. Singleton was issued a warning letter for both dogs. And then after this second incident that occurred, I guess this is going to be a part of his appeal. I can't speak for him. But something to do with his appeal, which is why we're at where we're at now, as far as the affidavits and public safety goes. But he did, in fact, receive a warning letter in December in regards to this
Okay.
incident.
Okay, thank you. My second question, Mr. Temple, is have you seen the dogs out since the citations were filed?
Not since I got bit.
Okay, thank you very much.
No.
Do any of the other commission members have questions for Mr. Temple? Okay, then we'll move on. And Mr. Singleton, welcome this morning, and it is now your turn to tell us what you want us to know.
Well, for one thing, the pictures that I sent in and the vet say that one's a Rottweiler, which is Bandit, and one's a German Shepherd, which is Louis. Clearly, there's no mix. They're clearly German Shepherd and a Rottweiler. So this pit bull story, I don't know where that's coming from. Also, he says that the bus stop has a problem with my dogs. You know, I look out there, every one of those kids are sticking their hands through the fence tempting my dogs. I admit my dog barks at other dogs that walk by. Dogs don't like other dogs. I mean, it's just a territorial thing, in my opinion. You are hearing all this, right? I'm not. Okay. So as for that's untrue. I also have two character witnesses that I put on my when I got the warning. I sent them for one was actually a witness of the November thing, and he said all he heard was a bunch of barking. Never saw anybody bit. Never saw anybody fighting. Never anything. They were just sitting there wandering. So apparently they did get out of the fence. I don't know how, because the fence has got a padlock on the top and another heavy duty lock that's hard for a human to lock it at the bottom. And the reason why the fence is like that and why it won't stay up straight per se right now, because I'm still under construction and the county made me do a corner thing because I own, oh, by the way, that abandoned lot that he keeps calling it, it's my backyard. So I own street to street. So that corner, I had to put a angled fence for the county. It's called a, I don't know, some right of way type thing, so people can see making the turn. So I did what I was told and did the angle. And that's why the fence is so large. But that's why it's got double locks on it. Well, like I said, a padlock on the top, so you can't unlock that one. So I don't know who unlocked the bottom one. And then so I rectified that situation if my dogs did actually get out. But the witness said that the dogs that were out there was no fighting, anything going on, just barking. And then they were just sniffing each other. That's both those dogs there.
Excuse me, Mr. Singleton. Pardon me. Your witnesses were not able to come this morning?
No, I didn't. I didn't. All they are is character witnesses, basically. I mean, the one saw that he said that I didn't see any fighting. All I saw was the dogs out, and I walked out there, calmly walked out there, and he brought the dogs back to the house to me, and they followed right with him. No aggression after him or Kendall or anything like that. I don't know exactly what went on. So I guess nobody knows but him. But as for the second time, that is a real story there. I clearly in my rebuttal I typed up. I put on there. I was home on the 26th, all day and all night. Those dogs never left my sight, and every time they went out, I would watch them like I said, never left my sight because I was watching them to make sure that there wasn't a way that they could get out. I wanted to make sure. So, and ever since the first time incident, I've been doing that. But anyway, the 26th, when he says that my dog is stalking him, he's a quarter mile away. My dog would. I never heard of. I mean, this is a movie. I mean, a dog stalking someone. And as for the throwing up and all that, if he's so good with detail, why is he calling my dog a pit bull when it's clearly a Rottweiler? Show the pictures that I sent for my evidence. Can you guys do that?
Who did you send those pictures to?
Autumn Kepler, the paperwork you sent me, I sent it all into there in that folder. And to your email. There
Give me
were
one
pictures,
second.
there's the documentation from the vet for each dog, clearly stating that German Shepherd and Rottweiler, no mix, just German Shepherd and Rottweiler. And the pictures clearly will show what the dogs are. I don't know how to share the screen. I can show you what I sent you, but you don't have anything in your email.
Can you resend it to me, please? I do apologize. I was looking. Did you send it to Officer Herbert by chance, or did you send it to both of us?
Well, wasn't there on the site when I got all the nasty grams? Wasn't there a thing that you put these in? No.
So this is no. So when you appeal online, I just get a submission form with the details of what you want. The only thing that we have from you picture wise is that the dog was vaccinated, the vaccination records, and the rabies certificate for Bandit and Louie.
And I didn't provide that, I don't believe.
You have the ability to share your screen since you're a panelist, or you could forward it to me again and I could just pull it up.
I'm getting it together right now, man. Okay. No, how do I do this now? Got the right screen? Okay, can you see what I've got there?
No, you're not sharing the
Oh,
correct screen, maybe.
screen number 1, share. Now can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, looks like it's got all the pictures at one. Well, let's do this then. Oh, come on, man. Don't mess with me. Can you see that now?
Yes.
Does that look like a pit bull? It's clearly a black and tan Rottweiler. Um, oh, come on now. You're killing me, Smalls. This is crazy. All this mess. Mm. And there's Louis. Can you see Louis? The shepherd?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So there's that. That's the two dogs in question. And I wish I was better at this stuff. Now, where the hell is the... Oh my gosh.
Well, sir, I think the pictures that we've seen are good enough. So we've been
Okay,
able
well,
to
that's
identify those two
those.
dogs.
Okay, I want to show you what the vet, he describes them on in their folder at the vets.
Okay.
Okay. Can you see that?
I know your screen, you stopped screen sharing. You just gotta reshare your screen.
Oh, I'm sorry. Got it now?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, that's what's that? The Rottweiler. And this is right out of his folder. When I went to the vets, I said, "Can I have the top or whatever you have that says what my dog is?" And there he is. Where's page 2? Where the hell is page 2? There's the other one right there. That's a shepherd. German shepherd. Clearly says it's brindle colored. Can everybody see that?
Yes. Thank you, sir. I think that we now can understand what dog to own. Thank you.
Okay.
Great.
Well, that's all I wanted to clarify is that he's so much on detail about RVs and everything else in my property. He did call it a vacant lot. It's not a vacant lot. And yes, I did been working on a fence for a while. I'm doing it myself, and it's very expensive. So it's taking me some time. But it's never been where they weren't secure and the dogs shouldn't get out. Okay, if they did get out, that first time, but there's no way of stalking him a quarter mile away. Then, like I said, the dogs were never out of my sight that day, particular, because it was the day after Christmas. I was home alone by myself, um, and that's about all I can say. I mean, I find it crazy, that whole detail about them throwing up and everything else, but yet he's calling it a pit bull, and it's clearly a Rottweiler. And that's about all I can say about this. I mean, that's
Okay. Thank you, sir. Can you tell us, please, why your dogs are not licensed?
what do you mean licensed?
The county requires all dogs to be licensed with the county.
Oh, I wasn't aware of that. My vet never said anything about that, or I wasn't aware.
Okay.
The warning letter that you had received, it's the second page, that the dogs were not licensed, and it's not with the vet, it's with the county here at the shelter that the dogs have to be licensed.
On the second page
Of the
Rule-
warning letter?
The first one or the second one? Because I never read anything about having to register these dogs.
I do apologize. And for some reason in this warning letter, it's not listed, but it's with the county. So you can do it online. I'll send you an email with the details of how to
Yeah,
do so.
I have no problem with doing that. I never realized that. Everybody that owns a dog in Anne Arundel County has to, well, I guess it'll cost money, I'm sure, to register them or something.
It's for the matter of public safety. So it documents that your dogs obviously have their rabies certificate that ties it to the county license. It does is a fee. It's dependent on the age, if your dogs are altered or not, neutered. So it varies on age of the animal and if they are altered. But I'll send that in a separate email for you so you can look at it and get everything done online.
Okay, will do.
Thank you. Do any of the commission members have questions for Mr. Singleton?
I do.
Yes. Yes, sir, Mr. Fuentes.
So if we do uphold the potential public safety, it comes with, like, he has to repair the fence. Is that kind of, I'm also asking commissions, or is it just a citation that we're upholding?
This is just for the citation.
Okay.
And Autumn, would you please explain for the commission and our parties what the designation of public safety threat entails?
Yes, so the public safety threat county code, so 12-4-402 encounters the 7 various different elements of public safety. So attacks a person, bites a person, aggressively approaches a person, or approaches an animal that's domesticated while leash, dog fighting. There's just various elements that could be cited for under public safety. And these are just citations for, I believe, bites a person and while at large. Let me look at it so I can say it correctly. All right. So one is for while at large chases or approaches a lawfully restrained domesticated animal in an aggressive manner. One is for, and again, this goes back to what you were saying, Jackie, that only one dog was listed, which I can get with Mr. Temple about. So it's 2 for the 2 separate dogs while at large in an aggressive manner towards an animal. And then kills or inflicts injury to a domesticated animal. So the puncture wound in that picture that was shared earlier for public safety. And then the last one was for inflicts severe injury to a person. So those are the 4 public safety threats that we're looking at. Injury to a person, inflicts injury to a domesticated animal, and 2, while at large, chases or approaches a lawfully restrained domesticated animal in an aggressive manner.
Thank you. And if we were to uphold any of the citations for public safety threat, are there requirements of the owner to fulfill?
It depends if he just chooses to pay the fines. Then he'd be assuming guilt in these situations, or he could appeal the citations. And then which case, whichever the outcome of your decision or moving forward, I would turn that over to the public safety office for their decision to do anything further.
Thank you very much for the clarification. Do any of the commission members have any further questions for Mr. Singleton? If not, Mr. Temple, I saw in the chat that your wife is with you. Did you want her to speak?
She is listening. She's not with me in person. She's
Okay.
In here listening. So she wasn't put into
Okay.
to the hearing, but she's listening to the
Okay. Well, if she
but
wants,
she wanted to say something.
yeah, if she wants to speak, we need to swear her in and get her on camera. Can we do that? Or do you want to do that? Does she have anything to add? Did she actually see the incidents that happened?
She came and picked me up when Rusty got bit. And one of the things Mr. Singleton did say that I did not add was that when we got away, a gentleman did come and take his dogs away. And he was like, "Do you want to come talk to them?" And I said, "No, because my dog is hurt." I was more concerned about that, and both of them were out. So he did admit that they were
Okay.
out of the gate. Um, uh, um, so she's texting me right now whether to get in. Um, I think she does want to jump
When we were
in.
having, I apologize, when we were having the audio issues earlier, I was asking if I should have readdressed it. I do apologize. I'll go ahead and promote her now.
Thank you.
There she is.
And if you could turn your camera on for me, Miss Temple. Please raise your right hand for me. Do you swear and affirm under penalties of perjury the testimony you're about to give is nothing but the truth?
I do.
Can you just state your name and address for me?
My name is Catherine Temple, 1173 Ridge Drive, Pasadena, Maryland, 21122.
Turn it back over to you, Jackie.
Thank you, Ms. Temple, and thanks for sitting in. What would you like to add?
Well, I just want to add that when I picked them up the night in November, our dog Rusty was bleeding, and both of them were, to say the least, frazzled and very upset. But and that this did actually happen. Our dog did get bit, and we were in the vet hospital all night with him. And he got, that's all I want to say is it did happen. If there was any question.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that.
Mhm.
Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Temple? If not, if there are no further questions, we will close for deliberations. Thank you, Autumn. I'd like to start first with Mr. Fuentes. I apologize. Do you prefer Greg or Gregory?
Mr. Fuentes is fine,
Okay,
but Greg is also acceptable. That's for me. It's
Okay.
fine.
okay. Your thoughts?
So, I after hearing the testimony and everyone's parts, is my recommendation to uphold all citations. I can see that Mr. Singleton is making an effort to make corrections, but he was contesting a lot of or trying to defend what his dogs had done. And there was clear evidence that there had been a public health threat. So because there is clear evidence that there was a public health threat on multiple occasions, I must, for the safety of the public, I must uphold all citations. And I make a strong recommendation that he gets his both his animals licensed and possibly even look at the fence. I wasn't sure. I was when I looked at the. That's why I asked about the citations or if this was an order. because if the dog did crawl underneath the fence, it needs to be corrected so this doesn't happen again.
Thank you. I certainly would agree on that. Lieutenant McGrath,
I agree.
what are you?
I agree as well. I thought animal control normally sends out like a list of things for him to do, which would be to improve the fence and all that other stuff. And I thought I saw something in the drive.
That's the warning letter.
Okay.
So in the warning letter, and that was from the first incident. It's a recommendation letter, so it's not enforceable actions. But it did list the various things that Mr. Singleton should do. I mean, we highly recommend that he do
Training. Okay.
to prevent. What you're talking about is an actual order, which is enforcement, and they must comply with the various elements of the order.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Thank you. Nicole.
No, I absolutely agree. And I wish that Mr. Singleton would have taken more accountability for what had happened here. I feel for Mr. Temple and Rusty. It shouldn't have happened, and I agree we should uphold all citations.
Thank you. Stacy.
I do have a question. I'm looking through the drive. I looked through the drive last night. Are what we're discussing today only things that happened in November, or are we discussing December? Are there citations from the December
Yes.
date? Because
51 and 52 are December, and the other 3 are November.
okay.
So it is both incidents that are covered.
I'm a little bit. So we absolutely know with certainty that the dog that attacked Mr. Temple on the day after Christmas was owned by Mr. Singleton, because it seemed like, because Mr. Temple was describing a dog as red, and there's no red dog. I don't know if he's referring to the Belgian Malinois, the shepherd-like dog, when he was saying a red dog, because I'm a little bit there, and there's language in the warning that says something about a red and white husky type dog. So I'm a little bit confused I just want to make sure there's no red and white dog out there that is biting people. And that it's truly owned by Mr. Singleton, if that's held. I'm just a little bit troubled by that.
Okay. There does seem to be some question, I think, about what the dogs are in Mr. Temple's mind.
Just the description of a red and white dog, because Mr. Temple said the dog was red. And then in the warning letter to Mr. Singleton, it says something about a red and white husky type dog. So I'm just trying to rectify in my mind.
Right.
Just for clarification, sometimes in warning letters, if the animals are not known to us,
okay.
And we kind of go off of the description that's provided to us from the incident. And then, I mean, that goes on the warning. It's not enforceable actions. And then it's when it comes for the clarifying information of what breed they actually are. So that's why it's listed that way in the warning letter, because at the time the dogs were not known to us. So we had to get it in based off what we knew.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So,
yeah, then I have no issue. I just want to make sure that there isn't a third dog running through Pasadena that is somehow, I mean, associated with
I
this
mentioned there is
case.
somewhere.
Of course, but it isn't associated with it. So I have I agree with everyone else. Totally.
Yeah, I had the same concerns as you when they started talking about the dogs, but I don't think the dog owner was disputing whether or not it was his dogs after they
okay.
that was involved in the incident.
Oh, okay. Okay. I thought he sort of was on the second incident, on the December incident, because he's like, he said something very dismissive.
He just testified to the fact that it was described differently, but I don't think there was any
Okay.
dispute as to whether or not it was his dogs involved in those incidents.
Okay.
That's the way I took it.
Autumn, can we bring Mr. Temple back in and show him the pictures of the two dogs and get him to verify that those were the dogs he saw that were involved in the incidents?
Second.
Hi, Mr. Kendall. Or Mr. Temple, excuse me. Autumn's going to bring up the pictures of the two dogs. And can you verify for us if these were the dogs that were involved with you?
Yes.
Okay, so is this the dog that you think
That one
attacked
for
you?
sure, that one for sure is the one that bit me. I'm pretty sure.
Um,
Yeah.
this shepherd type or the Rottweiler? First one
Is,
or second one?
are you talking about that bit me? Which
Yes,
incident are
sir.
you referring to?
Well, in your complaint, you have two dogs that were involved, and one actually did the biting. So she's showing you now the black and tan, black and brown or black and tan dog with the blue collar. Um, does this dog look familiar to you? Is this the dog that was involved, and is he the one that actually bit you?
No, it's the other one.
This one, the one that has the tall pointy ears,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's the one that you think bit you.
Yes.
Okay, thank
I
you,
will
sir.
note, I will note, Jackie, in the affidavit, it does list that was wearing a shock collar. And in the pictures, you can see that the dog has a shock collar on its neck here. So as far as the collar description listed in his complaint.
Okay, thank you.
And that
To
dog's
me,
name.
this looks more like a Malinois than a Shepherd, but our job and the job of the complainants and all is not to be able to identify exactly what breed a dog is.
Yeah.
We just need to be sure that we
When I said
identify the
husky, I
dogs.
wasn't referring to a dog breed. I meant husky, not like a small little
Okay,
chihuahua. That's what I meant, not a breed.
okay. Thank you, sir, very much.
Clarify that. Mhm.
Appreciate, and we'll let you go back. Okay, so we gotta verify that those were the dogs involved. And remembering that the public safety threat does not, the designation of that does not carry with it any enforceable requirements for the dogs, but obviously they've got to be kept under control, and kept in a way that they cannot cause another threat. So, do I have a motion for what we want to do here?
I make a motion to uphold all citations.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor of holding all the citations? Right, and that's unanimous. Thank you. I suspect we might see Mr. Singleton again on an appeal. Y'all, can you excuse me for 3 minutes while I bring my dog in? I'll be right back before we call the next case. Thank you. I apologize. I should have asked if anybody else needed to take a break.
I think Greg is still waiting on him. Oh, there we go.
Okay. What will be
Um,
our next case?
So if you are a participant in the Animal Services versus Brumfield, please use the raise hand function to be promoted to panelist. And then Mr. Brumfield, if you could accept the promotion to panelist, so that way you can. There we go. And I would like to let the commission know that there was some additional evidence added this morning for this case from Mr. Brumfield. I'll show them obviously when he goes to speak. But if you want to review it at the same time, it's in the folder now. And then Mr. Brumfield, I need you to turn your camera on and unmute yourself, please.
Okay, there we go.
If you could both raise your right hand for me. Do you swear and affirm, or if you guys raise your right hand for me? There you go, sorry. Do you swear and affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
You could state your name and address for the record, sir.
My name is Lester J. Brumfield Sr. I live at 8023 Fairbreeze Drive, Severn, Maryland, 21144.
Officer Herbert.
Officer Herbert, 411 Maxwell Fry Road, Millersville, Maryland, 21108, Anne Arundel County.
I will hand it over to the commission.
Okay, thank you. Officer Herbert, if you could get us started, please, by telling us why we're here.
Sure. Good morning, everyone.
Thank you.
On March 7th, 2026, Mocha, a 3-year-old spayed female brown brindle with a white chest in color, shepherd type mix, broke free from her owner, Mr. Brumfield, and proceeded to severely attack Harlequin, a long-haired mini dachshund. Harlequin was admitted for abdominal bite wounds, which resulted in damaged uterus, internal bleeding, a tear in her mesocolon, indicating that the dog was subject to significant crushing from the attack that penetrated the abdominal cavity. She underwent an emergency spay under general anesthesia. Post-operative care included pain management, IV fluids, and supportive treatment. 2 surgical drains were placed, one on her back and one on her groin area. Mocha had been issued a warning letter last year, July 30th of 2025, for an incident against Sparky, a Chihuahua type dog. The escalation in behavior in less than a year's time and the severity of Harlequin's most recent incident, Animal Services served Mr. Brumfield a dangerous dog order for Mocha. Mocha is currently in the care and custody of the Department of Animal Services and is here at the shelter. And I believe Mr. Brumfield wants to appeal the dangerous order that was issued.
That's correct.
Thank you. Do we have a picture of Mocha?
I did not submit a picture. I've got pictures on my cell phone, but I forgot to submit them.
Thank you, sir. There we go.
Oh, there she is. There she is.
All
There's
right,
my
so-
baby. There's my
Okay.
baby.
So that is your dog then, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. Officer Herbert, did you have anything else? And
Not at this
commission
time.
members, I'm sorry. Do you have any questions for Officer Herbert? Okay, then, Mr. Brumfield, it's my understanding that are you appealing the dangerous order? Or
Yes,
are
ma'am.
you just appealing to get Mocha back?
Well, I'd like to get Mocha back, but I don't know if the dangerous order would hold up, or I mean, I don't know how long that dangerous order stays on the record, or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
But Mocha is a service animal, as I
And
submit. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, sir, do you have documentation of that?
Yes, ma'am. I submitted that documentation to you when I sent it to your email. It was involved with a it's a picture of her service certificate and a picture of 2 IDs.
Yes,
Okay, this much
Jackie,
new evidence we have.
that's the new evidence that was put in there
Okay.
this morning. I can share that on the screen.
Please.
And then, Mr. Brumfield, if you could just clarify to the commission what these documents are as I have them up on the screen.
Okay, this document that's up on the screen at this time is the U.S. Service Dog certification that I had received. I received that. These are the 2 IDs that came along with it. One that you know, I put her. I've got the service vest for her that I had on her at the time, but these are the ones that says she's registered. Now this one is, oh Lord. Oh, that is a complaint that was registered, I believe, yeah, against Mocha. That I took care of, and this is the disability certificate for the Department of Veterans Affairs that says I'm 100% disabled. Now, I do have a chair that goes around, and so on and so forth. But this, I am 100% disabled by the standards. These are the medical records. Post-traumatic stress disorder. That's a severe case. I served 2 hitches in Vietnam back to back. I was in some terrible spots, some stuff I cannot talk about. But these are the arthritis in the hip, the chronic post-traumatic stress disorder following military combat. You know, and this, I'm trying to figure it. Okay. Oh, this is a contract that I entered into with K9 Training on the first incident with Mocha, where I got a hold of a gentleman named Garrett who runs a K9 Training Society or a K9 Training area in Culpeper, Virginia. I entered into the agreement with him. It cost me $2,500 for 2 weeks stay for Mocha down there. She came back. She was a different dog. She still had tendencies for smaller dogs, but you know, everybody. I mean, I walk her around the trailer park when we had the bad weather and stuff like that. And Mocha had no problem with the people. I've got people coming out. They know her by name. She jumps up on them and they pet them. And she's basically a friendly dog with humans. And she's never out of my control when she's with me. And as a result of the training with Garrett, I was given a mini. Let me get it here. Oh God, don't you? Oh God, I love a duck. I was given well, actually, I bought it. It's a mini educator. It's a collar and a remote control that she wore all the time she went out with me. And there's even times that I've forgotten. I don't know if you can see it or not, but this is the mini educator. She has it on it that has two distinct, actually three. It's got a vibration effect. It's got a sound effect when a dog has done something wrong, and it's got the shock. And at the time of this incident, Mocha was wearing the shock collar, and when she broke away from me, I did activate the collar, and it worked up to a point. I don't deny that she attacked the poor dog, and I'm sorry about that. I really am. But Mocha, she's made a difference in my life. She's made me want to go out and see people, want to go out and be human again. I come back with some not so pleasant dreams. I stopped walking Mocha in the mobile home park that I'm in, Severn Mobile Home Park, and I'll either take her to a school if it's closed, or I'll take her up to the park where this incident took place. Normally, I avoid other dogs with her, but this time it seemed like there was nothing going to happen until all of a sudden up jumped the devil and Mocha took off and threw me flat on the ground. But when I activated the mini educator, the dog responded and came back to me. So, but as a general rule, I try to keep Mocha away from other dogs when we're walking out. And if I see a dog, I'll go entirely in a different direction. So there won't be any incidences. But this time, for some reason or other, I didn't do that. I should have, but I didn't. I'm sorry. I apologize. And I've been in touch with Mr. Garrett. And if I get Mocha back, I will put her back in for retraining. I shall be wearing a muzzle. I'll take all the necessary precautions that I should take for the safety and welfare of not only my animal and me, but the other animals and the other humans that are walking the animals. I need Mocha back. I really do. I've had some very bad nights. So if the order gets overturned by Mocha being a registered service animal, I'm under the impression that I'll be able to get her back into the park area. I will leave her. She will be in the house with me. The only time she will go out is when she's on a leash with me. She will have a muzzle, and her vest will be on and everything like that. But, you know, I need my baby back.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for your service. We greatly appreciate you. Officer Herbert, can you tell us what else needs to be done currently at Mr. Herbert's home, or Mr. Brumfield's home, excuse me, in order to comply with the dangerous order
Yes, ma'am.
and for Mocha to go home?
So, as Mr. Brumfield stated, he does live in a trailer park. He owns his home, but not the land on it. So he needs permission from the property owner to have Mocha returned. He also can't, like, there's no fencing, there's no kennel. He's not allowed to do either or in this particular living situation. Mocha's already muzzle trained. We've done that here. And I think she pretty much she needs a microchip. But it's more establishing where are we going to house her and how are we going to house her if the order stands the way it is, the normal dangerous order.
Thank you very much. Is there anything else that he would need to do in order to comply and have Mocha returned?
The just proof of insurance, $300,000 liability insurance.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Brumfield,
Yes, ma'am.
have you talked to your trailer park managers, owners about getting Mocha back home?
No, I haven't talked to him about it because ever since I've gotten Mocha, he's been on my neck about, having her, about her barking. And she's in the house. There's other dogs in the park. I've done my best to keep her inside. Like I said, the only time she goes out is when she's with me on the leash, and we go out. It's not even in the park, a trailer park. It's somewhere else, away from everybody. I hope. Well, I pray to God that I do get Mocha back. But as far as my trailer park, if you'll excuse my expression, and please, I do not mean to insult anybody on the panel and everything, but Gil Maybury, who is the owner, is a dyed-in-the-wool asshole. If there's something that he does not like, he makes an order up for it. If he thinks there's something that's being shown in the park, he'll make an order up and put it in and as part of the park rules. He does not. Well, I'll give you an example. I've had a 1999 Buick LeSabre. It's got 36,000 miles on it. It's one of two historic vehicles that I've had, and because it's a 99 mint condition, 30-some thousand miles on it original, he tried to tell me that I couldn't have it because of the ruling that he had just put out last year. And I told him that it had been grandfathered in, and he didn't believe me until his son went out and talked to his daughter at the office, and she said, "Yeah, it's been." But it's like he's watching my every move. He's had people take pictures of me walking my dog. He's did slow drive-bys. If I didn't know better, I'd say he's a stalker. But that's just me. If it's not to his liking, if it's not to his benefit, there's nothing in it money-wise for him, then he doesn't want it. So, but yeah, that's the problem I'm facing.
Okay, sir. But it seems that in order to comply with the dangerous order for Mocha, you're going to need to talk to him to figure out, number one, apparently whether or not he will allow Mocha to be returned. And then, per the dangerous order, you need to have either a fence around your yard or a kennel erected for when she's outside.
Well, she doesn't, like I said, she does not go outside without me. She has to go to the bathroom. I go 3, 4, 5 times a day, up to and including sometimes as late as 12 o'clock or as midnight, walking her so she can do her business.
Okay.
But she always has the collar on. I charge the collar up every night. I put it on religiously every morning. Now, sometimes I even forget to take the collar off at night, and she sleeps in it. She's got a cage or a crate to where she stays.
Okay, thank you. How old is Mocha and how long have you had her?
Mocha's about 3 years old, and I've had her for about 2.5 years.
Thank you, sir, very much. Do any of the other commission members have questions for either Officer Herbert or Mr. Brumfield? If not, then we will close for deliberation. Mr. Brumfield, thank you very much for being here this morning. And again, thank you for your service.
Thank you, ma'am.
I did have a question for Ms.
Oh, I'm
Officer
sorry.
Herbert.
I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
You said there was a prior incident. Can you give us a quick recap of the prior
Yeah,
incident?
it was the same situation, a small dog, and there were some injuries and required vet care, but not nearly as intense as this most recent incident.
Okay.
So he had gotten that warning letter in July of last year.
So,
yeah.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
May I say something in rebuttal to that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, the incident she's talking about, the lady, it was a small pit bull. And yes, Mocha did go after it. The pit bull, well, it was simultaneous. Her pit bull come after Mocha. Mocha went after. And when the dog went to the hospital, I told the woman to bring me the vet bill. And I think the vet bill was like $500, and I paid her cash out of my pocket for the vet bill. I know that's no justification for Mocha's actions. I realize that. Like I said, I'm disabled. I was a cop in Baltimore City before I got 100% disabled. Then I went to Anne Arundel County District Courts, Annapolis and Glen Burnie. So I'm just offering that as a thing that I did to where to show my remorse. I am very sorry that it happened. I really am. And to show my remorse, I asked her about it. She gave me the bill, and I paid it. The gentleman that had the other dog, I told him, I started to, tell him that, I'll help him. And I would start to help him, and dadgummit.
Thank you, sir, very much. I'm sure they appreciate that, and we certainly do as well.
He dropped off, Jackie. Like his phone died.
Oh, okay. I think we were going to be ready to go to deliberation. Can we do that, or do we need to wait for him to be able to get reconnected?
There he is.
Oh, good.
Okay. You ready to deliberate?
We are, unless anybody has any other questions for Mr. Herb or for Mr. Brumfield. Sorry, I'm getting you two mixed up. Thank you. Then we will go on to deliberations. Thanks, Autumn. I don't know if you all have seen the chat, but Autumn put up that the ADA requirements that service dogs and the landlords cannot prevent them from having a dog or having the dog. So we really need to think about that. And we need to comply with ADA. So the question to me remains for actions for Mr. Brumfield on how he can comply. If he's not allowed to have the fencing, or not allowed to put a kennel up, can we modify the DO if we feel like that would be in order?
Are you asking that of me, Jackie?
Yes, give us some concept on the law itself.
So you can make recommendations, modifications to the order, drop pieces from it. I know that in my conversation with him when I was processing his appeal that he would be willing to comply with various parts of the order. It's just those big ones that are an issue. So really it would be on the recommendation of the commission how they would like to address that. But I just wanted to make sure that the ADA part was mentioned. just because I know we need permission from the landlord, but again, in this case, we don't.
Thank you. But I would assume that he would still need to talk with the owner, the landlord.
Yes,
But
I really think that would be something. Would it be good for him to talk to the landlord? Yes. Is that something that we would require of him? That's really going to be that civil matter outside of this. If you were to like drop that part of the order of requiring permission, is it the right thing to do? Yes. But we can't like force him to do that. Should you drop that part of it? Yeah. I would say it's really, there are various parts of the order that definitely should be there. You know, but the dog has taken really well to muzzle training. I can say that. Has not been an issue.
okay, thank you very much. Lieutenant McGrath, what are your thoughts?
I think we should go through this order and just start talking about what we should keep and what we should get rid of, maybe one by one. Outside of that, I think we should give him his dog back. Hearing
Okay,
that he's done well with muzzle training. So
thank you. I think that's a really good idea. Greg, what are your thoughts?
Very similar. It seems like the only thing really hindering Mr. The owner, I don't want to say his name. I got get confused with them too. It's the fence. I think he would comply with all the other stuff. And I'm also I understand the situation about that he has to ask permission. And I think if he has a service dog, we do have to let him have his service dog bag. So if there's a way, I guess a loophole to kind of work it where he can still get his dog, I'm open to that idea.
Thank you. Stacy?
Same. Agree with all of that.
Okay. Nicole?
I feel for Mr. Brumfield that this is the second attack on a dog by Mocha. I think we could get to yes, but I think we need to remember that this one was severe, and if he doesn't comply with everything, this could easily happen again.
Okay. So, Autumn, could you bring up the items of the dangerous dog requirements and let's go through those? Let's go through them one by one. And we'll just,
Do you want me to read them to you, or can you guys see that on the screen?
I think it'd be helpful if you would just go ahead and read the first one. We'll just again go one by one through them and determine what and how to uphold those.
So number one, Mocha must be confined in a secure building or enclosure on the property of 8023 Fairbreeze Drive, Southern Maryland 21144.
Okay. It sounds like he's doing that and can certainly comply with that. So I would suggest that we uphold that one. Any other thoughts? Okay, so number two.
Number two, Mocha must be confined in a crate or key locked room inside the owner's residence when the owner is not home.
And he did say he has a crate and he uses that inside. So number three.
Number three is the fence and or kennel.
And that's the sticking point. Please y'all jump right in. And let's give our thoughts. This would be the one I think that we would need to make a recommendation on modification in order for Mocha to be able to go home and be with Mr. Brumfield. I myself, under the circumstances, being in the trailer park and not having the ability to put in a fence or a kennel, my thought would be to modify this to not be required. What does everybody else think?
I agree with you.
Me as well.
Okay.
The incidents happened while the dog was walking, not because it got out loose. Yes, it is unfortunate that 2 dogs got hurt. But again, a fence wouldn't have prevented that. If we go down the list, we see that there's a muzzle. A muzzle would have prevented that.
Thank you. All right, so number 4.
Mocha should not be taken out of the home, fenced area, or kennel unless restrained on a 6-foot non-retractable leash with a collar and harness that is clipped together, which he's not appealing that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And the muzzle. So number 4 includes the muzzle as well.
Right. And he's making all of his efforts, I think, for this. Number 5.
This is the current animal license, vaccinated against rabies. And then the yearly cost of $125. And that the license has to be worn at all times.
Okay. Number 6.
That is the bite insurance and the minimum amount of $300,000.
Number 7.
Microchips.
Yep.
Number 8 is the permission from the landlord to have Mocha in his home, which he owns the home, just not the land.
Right, right. And because the ADA laws, that permission cannot be withheld per the law. So that would need to be modified or taken out. I wonder, can animal services provide documentation to the landlord or to Mr. Brumfield on the law that says that, so that we can?
What I can do is once the recommendation goes to the director, once we get her official word back, in the decision letter, should you remove this, I can state why it was removed and reference why we went that way. So that way, if he has any issues with his landlord or the landowner, that can be provided to them.
Okay, that's good. Good. I don't want to leave him out there hanging. If we can get Mocha back to him, I don't want him to have to be hassling over this part of it with his landlord. All right, so what's number 9?
Secondary barriers to all entrances and exits of the home.
Is Officer Herbert still with us?
I can bring it back.
Thank you. I wanted to ask her what her opinion is about the barriers and how easily they could be installed, or if she even thinks that they're necessary. Since I assume she's seen the house.
I'm here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So
Thank
I
you.
have not been out to Mr. Brumfield's house, but I will be going now that we are here, because there was no point in doing an inspection when we weren't, when he was appealing. So
Yeah.
part of the process, yes, is once we have the director sign off on what's being taken out, I do an inspection before Mocha is redeemed. Secondary barriers, I haven't had a problem with them in homes. They make all sorts of new fancy ones now. My concern is for Mr. Brumfield's disability. I don't want him trapped in his own home, as far as physicality. So that's why I would need to go out there and take a good look and give him what kind of options. There's gates. It can be on the inside or the outside, as long as it's secondary. So yeah, we'll have to come up with exactly what he's going to be doing for that.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
My thought is that because if we make the modification recommendation that he does not have to have the outdoor fence or kennel, then there should be the secondary barrier, unless Officer Herbert on her inspection feels that it would be dangerous to Mr. Brumfield himself. What are your thoughts? Can you show me, show your hands if you agree with that idea, please? We're not actually voting right now, but just give me an idea if you agree. Okay, great, thanks. All right, and so moving on to number 10.
That there has to, if there's any more incidents, if she's running at large, stolen, or involved in another bite, or any other incidents, sold, moved, that we have to be notified.
Okay. And number 11.
To send notice to all persons residing within 175 feet of the property, that there's a dangerous animal in the community.
And number 12.
The postage of the visible warning sign, dangerous animal on property.
Right. And then number 13.
Private behavior modification training for Mocha, which he says that he's already reached out to that individual for.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
So, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I'm good.
All right, so my thought here, running through all of these and hearing Mr. Brumfield and understanding his personal situation as a veteran, disabled, and following with the ADA as well, that we make modifications on the order, taking the fence and kennel out, the permission out, and then the secondary barrier be held in the order pending Officer Herbert's inspection. So thoughts on that? Nicole?
I agree.
Okay. Greg?
I also agree.
Lieutenant McGrath?
I agree. So I just want to make sure this is correct. We're gonna get rid of 3. That's the
Yes, the
fencing.
kennel.
We're gonna remove 8
Yes,
for the permission, and then 9 is what you had mentioned with the modification pending the inspection.
right.
Okay.
Based on his, on Dr. or Mr. Brumfield's safety in the home.
Okay, I agree.
Stacy?
Agreed.
Okay. Autumn, can we take that as a motion. Do we need somebody else to make the motion?
So you made the motion and someone, I guess, seconds it.
I'm not sure. As chair, can I make a motion?
For safety, let's let somebody else make the motion and I will
Okay.
follow up.
Okay. Nicole, you want to make a motion? You're smiling really big there.
So can I just say I make the motion that Jackie said? Because I didn't write numbers.
Who seconds?
I second.
Okay, so the motion is that we uphold the dangerous dog order, however, modifying it to remove number 3, the fencing and kennel, remove number 8, the permission based on the ADA law, and number 9, the secondary barrier, unless Officer Herbert determines that it would be unsafe for Mr. Brumfield's condition. All right, so all those in favor, raise your hands, please. Great, thank you very much. That was a real heart puller. Thank you. All right, so we're on to then who's next?
You are a participant in Anne Arundel County Animal Services versus Springfield. Please use the raise hand function at this time. Officer Herbert should still be here. Yep. And then, Kristen, if you could turn your
I'm
camera back.
trying.
Mhm.
Why?
There you go. Yep. You guys raise your right hand for me. Do you swear and affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
I do.
So Officer Herbert, you state your name and address for the record.
It's Officer Herbert, Anne Arundel County Animal Department of Animal Services, 411 Maxwell Fry Road, Millersville, Maryland, 21108, Anne Arundel County.
Ms. Springfield?
I'm Janicia Springfield. My address is 7903 Orion Circle, Unit 355E, Lower Maryland, 20724.
Mr. Bullock. Did I say that right?
Yes.
I apologize.
Dwayne Bullock on the same address as Janicia.
I will turn it over to the commission.
Thank you. Officer Herbert, would you please tell us why the order was written?
Yes. On March 22nd, 2026, Bo, an estimated 8-year-old neutered male fawn and white in color pit bull type mix, while at large, was involved in a fatal animal attack on Stormy, a 2-year-old cockapoo type dog. A bystander attempted to intervene to help separate the dogs. However, it took roughly 5 minutes to get Bo to release Stormy. Stormy was presented at the Veterinary Emergency Group in Columbia, Maryland. The attack resulted in complete loss of hind limb function, and initial findings included a flaccid hind limb with no deep pain or withdrawal reflex, multiple puncture wounds on the dorsum. Due to the severity of her injuries, the prognosis for neurological recovery was discussed as poor. The owner opted to transfer Stormy to the Dogs and Cats Emergency Specialty in Bowie, Maryland, for possible neurological consult. It was determined that Stormy had suffered fractured ribs, a fractured spine, and paralysis in her back legs. Due to the severity of these injuries and the resulting pain, Stormy was euthanized as a result of the animal attack. On March 26, 2026, Animal Services served Ms. Springfield with a dangerous order for Bo. Bo is currently in the care and custody of Department of Animal Services.
Thank you very much. Ms. Springfield,
Yes.
is this your dog?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so my understanding is that you are appealing the dangerous order and wish for it to be dropped down to a potential dangerous order. Am I correct?
Yes, or modifications to the order, because since we're renting right now, it's some things that we just can't do, but everything else we're willing to comply with and do.
Okay, so what are those items that you would like to see modified?
Um obviously the fence area, because obviously we can't provide a fence and we're looking at places, but it's not going to be a guarantee that a fence it's going to be part of the property. um and then like the secondary barriers, Bo never tried to escape like the home or anything, and then he's always with us. It's just this was just unfortunate that we turned out he wasn't running at large. He was in a fence area. My partner turned his head and Bo snuck out the fence. That was in like the little park area we was in, but we're not obviously gonna ever do that again anymore. Um the other part is permission from the landlord. Well, the new places we're talking about, we're discussing everything and we're telling them we can send a letter, but just in case, because Bo is my emotional support animal. And so that part, and then the neighbor things, we really don't want to scare our neighbors because Bo is very good with people and kids. It's just he was attacked last year in front of our actual apartment door, and ever since then when he see dogs he gets a little more hyped up than usual. And this is no excuse for anything. Bo was wrong like 100%, and we take accountability for that. But I feel like he should be given like a chance for us to be, well, we already talked about training, but now we're just going to be more proactive in doing it. And we already avoid dogs at all costs anyways, but it's just unfortunate that a turn of a head and a blink of an eye, something happened that we, regret. So that's mainly what we're asking for, but everything else we will comply. I don't think he needs a muzzle because like this is a first situational thing, but we would do it. We would do the muzzle training. We'll work with him, and he's just going to have to deal with it.
Thank you. Do you have any documentation for your emotional support animal?
Yes. I emailed Autumn, I think late last night, I believe, the from my mental health therapist.
Thank you. Can everybody see that? This is a new piece of evidence. Great. Thank you very much. So let me be sure that I have this correct. First of all, are you living in an apartment or condo or?
We're living in an apartment right now, but we're actively looking for a house.
Okay.
So it'll be more suitable for both because we never had any issues with, well, we walk both 4 in the morning, and then we usually walk them in the afternoon when people's like at work, and we usually don't see any dogs. So we already do our best to avoid all costs, but just to avoid hallways and elevators completely, we're just finding a home right now.
Okay, thank you. And the reason for contesting the second barrier?
It's because I don't even know what that incites, but I'm assuming it's something on the door. Like Bo's never tried to escape the house or the door. Like he sleep when we're not home or anything. But if that's something we have to do, then we'll just do it. But I just wasn't sure what that entailed in entirety.
That would be something like a baby gate, where your exit and entrance door is. You put a baby gate up there so that if you open your door, he can't run right out.
Okay, I can do that. That's fine.
Okay, Great, thank you. I would think that it would be obvious that you would need to have the landlord permission. Under the order it does, and so is there a particular reason for wanting that to be modified?
Just in case like someone doesn't understand, but all the places we've been talking about, they have an understanding of what's going on, but I just don't want to scare anyone or think anyone. Bo's just at large attacking people and dogs and all that stuff.
Okay, thank you. Do you have somebody there with you to testify with us?
Yes, I think it may be my mom. I'm not sure. Because she's interacts with Bo all the time, and she see how Bo is with her dog Zoe.
Okay, and did we get her sworn in?
She didn't use the raise hand function. What is her name?
Letitia Jones.
Sorry about that.
No, you're fine.
She's declining to be promoted. I don't know if it's like a setting or
Okay.
something.
Okay. And then I see that we have Mr. Bullock.
Oh
Yeah.
yes. He's both
Yeah, that's the
bad.
one that was that had him once he attacked.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't realize that, sir.
Yes.
All right. I'm sorry. Let me go back to Ms. Springfield, and then we'll get your testimony, okay?
Okay.
Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Springfield? I do have. I'm sorry.
I got to promote. The owner of the other dog wants to be promoted to speak.
Okay.
I apologize for that.
All right, well, let's do that. While you're doing that, I have one question for Ms. Springfield, and that is, why was Bo not licensed?
Licensed in what capacity?
Registering with the county. It's a county law that all dogs must be registered with the county. And in that case, you show your rabies vaccination and you get an ID, a little ID, county ID tag to put on the collar.
I didn't, when I adopted Bo, I wasn't aware that that was like a thing.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Autumn, you're going to promote someone else for us?
Yes, I just need her to. There we go.
Hi, yes, my mother is on the chat. She was the one that was there, Darlene Tyler.
Oh, there we go. I apologize.
Okay.
There's just a lot of people in the attendees now.
Yeah.
I think she has something wrong with her settings as well, because it's not letting me let her promote.
See, and I'm not with her.
Is there anything
it's not letting you do it for her?
Yeah, I'm trying. No.
No. Okay. But do you have any questions?
Raise your right hand for me. Mm-hmm. Do you swear and affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Just state your name and address for the record, please.
Bobby Tyler, 7903 Orion Circle, Laurel, Maryland, 20724.
All right, go over to the commission.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Tyler. And in what capacity are you here to speak?
Yes, I'm basically the co-owner of Stormy. My mother is the owner, but it's for whatever reason she can't get online to speak. So I don't mind speaking on her behalf.
Okay, and Stormy is the dog that was attacked.
Yes.
Is that correct? Okay, yes. And then I just want to clarify things. Mr. Bullock.
Yes.
What role are you?
I'm the co-owner. I was walking Bo at the time of the accident.
Oh, okay. So you're co-owner of Bo.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So let's start with you then to go on with that. What would you like to say?
I did have him in a enclosed area, and of course, once he used the bathroom, I, I bent down to pick up the poop, and unfortunately the gate was kind of open a little bit. He had he went through the fence and got loose and started running around. Unfortunately, he seen a lady and her dog, and he went after the dog, and I ran over behind him and got him off of him. But the incident, it didn't last 5 minutes. It was about 30 seconds. Unfortunately, I got hold of him and took him off, and then we went inside.
Okay, thank you very much. Any questions for Mr. Bullock? Okay, then Ms. Tyler, you are co-owner of Stormy, the dog that was attacked.
Yes.
Okay, so were you there when it happened?
So I got the call that my dog was attacked. My mother, by the time, the dog, they were able to separate them. Then my mother went into a neighbor's home and called me. And I was in my home on the other side of the building. So I ran to where she was, me and my boyfriend. And when I walked in the woman's home and saw that Stormy was, my mom was holding her and blood was everywhere. And so basically we rushed her to the pet emergency hospital in Elk Ridge, where, they cleaned her up or whatever. And, basically, I'm sorry. Hello. Where they cleaned her up and basically told us that, yeah, she had a lot of severe damage due to the biting. Hello?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, does anybody have any questions for Ms. Tyler? Okay, in that case, if nobody has any questions further for any of the parties,
they were able to fix the for Miss Springfield. I think it's Letitia Jones. She was able to be promoted to panelist. If I can just swear her in real quick.
Oh, yes, please.
Please raise your right hand for me. Do you swear and affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
You just state your name and address for the record.
I'm Letitia Jones. I stay at 3224C Aspen Tree Court, Lower Maryland.
Turn it back over to the commission.
Good morning, Ms. Jones. And so what role do you play in this case?
Well, I'm both grandmom, you would say. So but I interact with Bo all the time. He has not an aggressive dog at all. He's very pleasant. So I'm just so sorry that this incident did happen. But he's pleasant with my dog. They about the same breed and the same age, and they interact and play together all the time. So for this incident to happen, I'm really shocked because he's very pleasant. He's pleasant with everybody. He's very friendly. So for this to happen, I'm really shocked. We're really shocked about this.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Any questions? Any questions for Ms. Jones? Okay, in that case, we'll close for deliberation. Thank you all for being here this morning.
I'm sorry, can I able to say one thing? It sucks that my mother is not able to speak because that was her companion. My mother is a retired 70-year-old teacher. And, I understand in all parties, it's a very traumatic experience. But because my baby did not come home that day, it has to be some accountability when it comes to, what had happened. I know it was unprovoked. It is shocking, but some accountability has to be taken in regards to him being dangerous because he's a liability now.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you.
Something.
Okay, so
So we are taking accountability. And we're going to take the steps to like keep him safe and from something like this to ever happen again. And we've took accountability. Like this is eating us up inside. And it's not because of the consequences, it's just because we thinking of you and your mother. Like it's no words or like anything can express how sorry I am. And I know it's nothing I can do or say to change that. But we are taking accountability. We just want to give a chance to rehabilitate him before we just say, oh, he's a liability, write him off. Because he has never done this. And I'm genuinely so sorry. Like I'm like it's no words that I can say to, and it's selfish for me, but like I'm not eating, I'm not sleeping because I think about you and your mother and Stormy. This shouldn't happen, and she shouldn't have went out like that. And we are taking accountability. Like we know we were wrong. We're not nice at all. We just acting modifications just so we can safely bring Bo into a new home where he's able to get a chance to change. You know what I mean? I don't think he deserves to just be locked up in a cage forever or be euthanized and then that's it. But like, we're sorry. Like, and I know
understand.
Anything. I know it doesn't mean anything because if I was in your shoes, I wouldn't want to hear it either. But
thank you, Ms. Springfield. I know that this is a very trying time for everyone involved. And so the commission, we're going to go ahead and close for our deliberations and do the best that we can for all of you. Thank you all very much for being here this morning.
Thank you.
Okay, so another situation. If I understand correctly, Miss Springfield is appealing the fence, and she's currently living in an apartment, so a fence would not be possible, or even a kennel outside.
Jackie, I don't know if you saw the message that I sent.
I did. Oh, yes. Thank you.
Emotional support animals that do not qualify as service animals under the ADA may nevertheless qualify as reasonable accommodations under the FHA Act. In cases when a person with a disability uses a service animal or ESA, a reasonable accommodation may include waiving a no pet rule or pet deposit. So it's not under the there's some parts of it covered under ADA, but it's not treated the same as service animals.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that. It's really helpful. So obviously being in an apartment right now, she cannot erect a fence. However, what I would recommend would be that the modification would be that while she's in the apartment, the fence is not required. However, if they move to a house or a condo where they had a yard, then there would need to be the fencing or a kennel. And then she's okay with the second barrier now, understanding what it is. She also wants to modify out the landlord permission and the notifications. I personally don't see a reason for modifying that, and that should stay in. So I'm welcoming all thoughts, Lieutenant McGrath.
No, I agree with what you said, with just a modification for number 3 while she's in the apartment. But if she does move, then either a fence or a kennel. Everything else should stay the same.
Thank you. Greg?
Has there been an inspection to the house? Because the way the animal did get out is because the fence wasn't locked, according to the story. But as long as, because according to the story, the dog was in the backyard doing its business, and the gate was open and it got out. So I just hope that there's some kind of security if we're going to give some modification to that. The fence that is currently at the property. Yes.
It was
Officer
at a
Herbert.
it was at a dog park.
Yeah,
A
that's
little
what I was
Yeah.
gonna
it
say.
wasn't their own property.
But
Yeah, they live in apartments, so
but
they don't
didn't
have a yard.
wasn't there? I mean, didn't you guys hear the testimony of the guy who was there? He
Yes,
said
they
that.
were at a dog park or something similar to that, where they were at some other piece of property that had a
So
fence, but not their home.
not their home. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah, and then I must have passed that part. Sorry.
It got really confusing there for a while.
Yeah. And then I'm open to the modification to the fence. I just wanted to make sure that this doesn't happen again for the public safety. The public safety.
Absolutely.
So I'm very hesitant, especially after a dog died. I'm very hesitant to be lenient or modification on any of this. But the fence, it would be, if it happened in a different location, I'm open to that. But everything else, pretty much no modifications. I don't agree with, except the fence.
Thank you. Stacy?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like we're in a very similar situation to the case prior. This happened. The dog didn't bust out of their home. Um, they seem genuinely, genuinely heartbroken over this. But yeah, like I think that's absolutely, and especially for renters, it has to be so hard. So I think that modification absolutely is appropriate in this case.
Thank you. Nicole?
Question for Officer Herbert. Have you guys been working with Bo on muzzle training?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Have you guys been working with Bo for muzzle training?
No, I don't believe so.
So Bo is muzzled. He was being walked. I saw him today being walked.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yes.
My bad.
So,
Sorry.
yeah, so he is taken to muzzle training well.
Good. And she wasn't contesting that either. Originally she was, but then said that she was okay with that. So, do we have a motion for upholding the dangerous order, but modifying number 3 about the fencing?
I make a motion to uphold the dangerous order, but modify number 3 to include it being removed for the time being, but once they are out of an apartment condo situation, that it be upheld as written.
Thank you. Second?
What if
Will
they,
somebody
I'm
second?
just curious, what if they
Oh.
end up renting a house, but it doesn't have a fence in the backyard, so they're strictly still leash walking Bo? Because I wouldn't want to see, I mean, again, just being renters, like if they end up finding a home,
They
but
would
it
still have to
doesn't.
notify the landlord person that there's a
Yeah,
dangerous dog.
but I'm
and
saying the fence requirement
then
part.
if you do the fence or the kennel, it's either or.
But what if the landlord, well, I guess they have to find ideal land, but
Right.
if they can't find a home, if they're renting, not purchasing, that has a fence, they would have to erect their own kennel, like a wire kennel in the backyard.
10 by 10 with the cover, anti-digging measures, and yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I would think that it would mean that as they're looking for somewhere new, that needs to be a priority for them on their choice of where they go, that they can either have permission, there either is already a fence that's appropriate, or they can erect a fence themselves or the kennel. They always have the kennel option if they can't fence in the whole yard. But in this case, they have kind of a luxury that they know what they need in their new home for for the dog. So we still need a second to the motion. Will somebody second that, please? Raise a hand.
I'll
My
second.
second.
Thank you, sir. All right, so the motion is that we uphold all the elements of the DO except for number 3 regarding the fence, that while they are in the apartment, they obviously are not required to have the fence or a kennel, but should they move, they need to, if they move to a place that has a yard, then they need to comply with number 3 with either a fence or a kennel. All those in favor, raise your hands, please. Okay, and that's unanimous. Thank you very much.
Very ready
Does
to-
anybody need a, I'm sorry, does anybody need a break before we move on to our last case? Yes, sir. Looking at
Yeah.
Lieutenant McGrath.
Yeah, just, I need a minute.
Okay. So we'll give you 5. All right, so we'll be back in 5 minutes, which will be 11:50.
This is the last case, so
Yes,
hopefully we won't go past 1.
thank you. Do we have everybody back?
Let me go grab Officer Herbert. She's not in the office, and this is her last case as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Is Nicole and Greg back yet? There's Nicole. Boom. Are we ready for the last one?
Okay, let's move on. Do we have Officer Herbert back?
She's grabbing water, so I can go and get everyone promoted and sworn in by that time.
Okay, thank you.
You are a participant in the Anne Arundel County Animal Services versus Talbot. Please use the raise hand function at this time.
Sorry.
Yes. Ms. Talbot, if you could please accept the echo. One second, I'm trying to get Ms. Talbot on. All right. Sorry about that, everyone. So there are the amount of people. All right, if I could get everyone to please raise your right hand. Do you swear and affirm under penalties of perjury that the testimony you're about to give is the truth and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right. So if we just go, Officer Herbert, if you could state your name and address for the record.
Sir Herbert, Department of Animal Services, 411 Maxwell Fry Road, Millersville, Maryland, 21108, Anne Arundel County.
And then, okay, Miss Talbot, if you say your name and address for the record.
Corey
Corey
Talbot. Talbot, 32899 Landing Road, Edgewater, Maryland, 21037.
Then, sorry, Kara, sorry if I said that wrong.
It's Kara Cerrone, 108 Claiborne Road, Edgewater, Maryland, 21037. And Vic's here too.
Victor, if you could state your name and address for the record.
Victor Porter, 108 Claiborne Road, Edgewater, Maryland.
Unmute us.
And then Hannah.
Hi, Hannah Philpott, 3353 Easton Road, Edgewater, Maryland, and I am representing my daughter who's a minor. Does she need to be sworn into?
I don't believe so. Jackie, her mother, she's speaking on behalf. So does her daughter have to be sworn?
How old is the daughter?
She's 16 and she was a witness. She was there. I was not there.
Okay, yes, I think we should swear her in as well.
Okay.
Just state your name and address for the record, please.
Lauren Philpott, 3353 Easton Road, Edgewater, Maryland, 21037.
That's everybody. All right. So just for clarification for the commission, Officer Herbert, Hannah Philpott, and her daughter, and Kara Cerrone and Victor Porter are on behalf of Anne Arundel County Department of Animal Services, and then Miss Talbot is on behalf of her dog Maya. I will turn it over to the commission.
Thank you, Autumn, for those clarifications, and we'll try to keep up with everybody's name correctly. But we'll start with Officer Herbert to tell us why we're here.
Good afternoon, everyone. On March 7th, 2026, Maya, a 1-year-old pit bull type mix, was involved in a severe human exposure to a 5-year-old juvenile that required multiple sutures. It was reported on March 20th, 2026 during the investigation process that there was actually another human exposure during the same incident when Maya redirected to a second juvenile on scene. The incident occurred at Southdown Marina in Edgewater. While the daughter and other children were walking on the dock, they stood in a single file to allow Miss Talbot to pass with her leashed dogs. Dogs were barking aggressively, and Maya lunged at and bit the 5-year-old and then redirected to the second juvenile. The 5-year-old juvenile was taken to AMC Pediatric Emergency Inpatient Department for a severe dog bite to the left forearm. A total of 13 stitches were placed to close the laceration. An IV dose of ampicillin Subactrin was administered. The second individual did not receive medical care, but did receive 1 puncture from the dog's bite to her leg. On March 11th, 2026, Ms. Talbot was issued a dangerous order for Maya. Maya is currently at home, in the most part, in compliance with the order, with the exception of the license for the dangerous order. I have been to the property and did a pre-inspection. There were, and Maya's owners can confirm or deny how far we are with the fencing. He's replacing the open slats to make it a full-on fence. And then the secondary barrier at the front door. But basically the design of the house is there's one entrance that goes out into like an acre backyard that's completely fenced in. They just have to do the slats. They did the gate modification. She's got a crate. All the pictures should be in here from my pre-inspection. They were just waiting on the wood for the slats, but the yard's completely fenced in. And then there's just a front door. And I will be going back out to the property.
Thank you. I want to be sure that I understood that correctly, that they have a fence, but they're working to reinforce it.
Yes, I believe there should be a picture because you can't You're not supposed to be able to stick your fingers through the fence, but unfortunately there's little gaps as we go down the
Okay.
fence line. He's repairing that.
Okay, thank you. And then she has not gotten the special license.
No.
Okay, and there's not a second barrier at the door.
Yes, that was to be installed. They had to order the door.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. So
Cara Cerrone and Victor Porter are the parents of the 5-year-old with the severe injury. And then,
okay. I'm sorry.
And then the Hannah Philpott is the mother of the child that was redirected on with the puncture to the leg.
Okay. All right. Thank you. So let's hear from the parents of the 5-year-old, please. And first of all, how is she doing?
She's doing much better. She's been incredibly strong and resilient throughout all of this. It's obviously impacted her. You know, we've seen other dogs while walking, and she's definitely moving to the other side of the street and constantly asking, you know, what she did to kind of deserve this or what she did wrong to provoke this. And it's really hard to navigate that conversation because nothing really happened to actually provoke it. But she's impressed us for sure with how strong she's been. So but yeah, we have something written up, so we just wanted to thank you guys for allowing us to speak on how this matter has impacted our family. So really our utmost concern is the repeated lack of basic safety measures and responsible ownership here. So this was not an isolated incident. Since this has happened, we've been made aware of multiple other bites involving the same dog. So this attack on our 5-year-old daughter was totally preventable and completely unprovoked. It could have been avoided after the first incident, second, or certainly the third. We're incredibly grateful for several things: a support community, the quick thinking of a 16-year-old who acted immediately to not only control the bleeding, but also calm our daughter while gathering the contact information from the dog owner. And of course, the medical care that our daughter received. But most importantly, we're so grateful that the outcome wasn't worse, that it wasn't her face or neck. We'd be looking at a completely different story right now. So I had no idea how bad the bite was, only that she'd been bitten. So her arm was still wrapped in her fleece when I'd gotten to her. And of course, panic coursed through me. My immediate concern was, how bad is it? Was the dog up to date on rabies? Is my daughter okay? So during our 5-hour stay in the ER, our daughter required x-rays, ortho review, and testing to make sure she still had functionality of her fingers, movement, and that there was no major bone damage or anything along those lines. She required an IV, a complete wound flush out, and left the hospital with 13 stitches. It wasn't until we were in the triage room that I actually saw how bad it was. She wouldn't let me see because she was afraid to see it. So when I finally did see how bad the wound was, I had to fight back tears and keep myself together because I knew that keeping myself calm would ultimately keep her calm as well. But as I mentioned, I genuinely couldn't believe how strong and resilient she was throughout all this whole ordeal. But the trauma is definitely undeniable. So to this day, she's not been able to look at her injury, not during the twice daily wound care maintenance or when her stitches were removed or when her dressing accidentally slips down and she runs to us to fix it. So we've had to forego activities during spring break because her arm couldn't get wet or exposed. And the very physical scar will remain with her for life, but the emotional impact is definitely just as significant. So our sweet and lovable 5-year-old is constantly asking what happened to her and has been fearful of dogs since the incident, trying to understand what she did wrong when, she didn't do anything. During discussions with my husband, Corey admitted knowing that her dog was aggressive and the girls did not approach her dog. And her only concern at the time was compensation, like this had happened before. The explanation of events had since changed, shifting from her initially minimizing the severity of the injury to suggesting the children approach the dogs to ultimately trying to place blame on our 5 and 7-year-old. These shifting narratives are deeply troubling and further demonstrate an unwillingness to accept responsibility for a known dangerous dog. Even now, the current orders do not require removal of the dog, but simply mandate that it be registered as a dangerous and properly controlled dog. including muzzling in public. These are minimal, responsible steps, and the fact that these measures are being contested reinforces our concern that the owner is either unwilling or unable to take the actions necessary to prevent another attack. This isn't just about our family. As evidenced by the affidavits, multiple additional individuals have now come forward stating that they've also been bitten by this dog. This establishes a clear and dangerous pattern of behavior. Leaving this dog in the same environment under the same ownership creates an ongoing and unacceptable risk to the community. We cannot ignore what has already happened, nor can we wait for something worse to occur, because based on the pattern we've seen now, there will be a next time if nothing changes. And the next victim may not be as fortunate as our daughter. Our daughter has been truly remarkable during this last month, but her sister, their friend, and the young adults who were present that day have all been deeply affected. Despite this, they've demonstrated more accountability, empathy, and maturity than the adult responsible for this situation. Quite frankly, these orders issued are not enough. We're asking you to act before there is a next time. For the safety of our community and to prevent further harm, we strongly urge that this dog be removed from the current home. We really appreciate your time and consideration for taking this matter seriously. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, very much. And just to be clear, we are here today to hear the appeal from Ms. Talbot. And we are not in a position as the commission to take it even further at this point. So we'll be working on the appeal, but we thank you very, very much for your words. Sir, do you have something you would like to add?
No, she did a great job. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. I have a question for Officer Herbert. Do we have a record of other bites by this dog?
None that were reported.
Okay,
So
thank you.
I have so since this incident happened, and really it was an information thing that not a lot of people know about the affidavit of complaint process. But now that they do, more people are coming forward with affidavits of complaint. It's just I didn't include it in this because it's a separate process from the order, but there are several affidavits from several neighbors about this dog.
So those have been filed since these were?
Yeah, so Ms. Ferroni's was filed, additional one was filed, and then I have two more that need to be processed and completed.
Okay, but they are not included in today's process, right? Okay.
They're not just because they haven't been adjudicated, but there are legal notarized documents about this dog.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. A question for the parents there. Have you seen the dogs out again? They weren't running at large, so that's not the issue, but have you seen them out being leash walked and with compliance or not compliance with the dangerous order?
No, we have not seen the dogs since the incident. I'm
sorry.
never seen the dog.
Okay, thank you very much. Does anybody have any questions for these folks? Okay, if not, we will go on to the Philpotts. And I understand that Kara was there and saw the incident. Am I correct?
Lauren, Kara, I'm the mom.
Oh, I'm sorry, I've got names mixed up.
Nope,
okay, so you all are the parents, but you were not there. Okay, so who is it that was there?
Hannah Philpott.
Laura Philpott, her daughter.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, so we'll go on to you all. And it's Lauren, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
thank you. So, which of you would like to speak first, Lauren or Ms. Philpott?
I was not at the incident. I'll have my daughter speak.
Okay, thank you very much. Lauren, just...
Okay. So originally when we got down there, the golf cart was parked about 10 feet away from our dock, and the three girls on the back of the golf cart, they jumped off and walked down to the dock, and it wasn't my golf cart, so I was turning it off, and I look up and I see the dog hanging from the owner's leash off of the dock, like hanging by the collar. So I walk over confused at first and I hear, Lauren, we need you, like crying. And so at first I didn't know. So, and the owner and the dog were still remaining at the same place. So I walked over, I picked up Kayla, the 5-year-old, and I.
By the dog though.
Yes, but at
Excuse me.
first, in order to get to
Sorry,
Kayla.
Lauren, I need to interrupt you for a moment. Can you all turn your camera on, please?
Oh, I thought it was on.
Oh,
Yeah, so they have their camera on. I think they're using one as a.
We are. One is sound, one is, or my sound went out on my computer, so we're
Okay.
using our phone as sound.
can you see us?
Here, let's do it this way. Is that better, Jackie?
Yes, thank you very much. You don't have to start over. Just
Okay. So then,
Go ahead. Bye.
anyways, the owner was still remaining at the same place as the dog. So as I was walking past, didn't look at the dog, didn't approach the dog, nothing, and the dog jumped at me trying to attack, and that's when she nipped my leg and didn't pay any attention, just kept on walking to Kayla, and I moved her further down the dock, and I was helping her breathe, calm down, and I took off her jacket, and that's when I saw the her wound, and so then I wrapped it back up, and then I continued, like, then the lady was still there, the owner, and then so I looked at her and I was like, I'm not her mother, can I please have your phone number? And at that point she had walked off the dock onto the grass area, so I picked Kayla up, walked over to the golf cart, she gave me her information, and then I drove home on the golf cart back to the owner, back to her parents.
Yes, I'm muted. Just to add, I went back to that home while Kara and Vic were offering care to Kayla at their home before taking her to the ER. And I feel the same sentiment. There was never an apology. It was just, we'll offer to pay. The first thing Mrs. Talbot said to me is, we'll pay for anything that happened. And so other than that, that was the only thing that was said to me, and the only thing we talked about.
thank you very much. And Lauren, that was very commendable, your actions taking care of little girl. Thank you very much.
Thank
Do
you.
any of the commission members have questions for Lauren? Okay, in that case, then we will move on. And Ms. Talbot, it is your turn. And if you would please start by telling us what you are appealing on the dangerous order.
Good afternoon. In my statement.
We have some feedback.
Ms.
Is
Talbot,
this-
do you have two devices going, like one for, because it looks like you're here as an attendee and as a panelist. Do you have a second device logged on?
I do not. Do you want me to try and stop?
Ooh, we
All right.
can't understand you. There's so much feedback.
Can you try talking again real quick?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. So you were logged in twice somehow.
Okay.
But now you're fine.
Thank you. So we went through each order or each point of the order as far as the appeal. There are some things with how the situation was described that were inaccurate. I was walking both my dogs. I have a 13-year-old and Maya, who's a year and a half. I took them out for a short walk down to a common area, which is the dock area. There wasn't anybody out at the time. The reason why that is relevant is that Maya is a rescue dog, and we do know that she was severely traumatized. So we are aware that she gets anxious around people and other dogs. And so we keep her separate from people and other dogs until we know how she's going to respond. So I took her down that day. There was no one down at the public area, so I took them down to walk on the dock. And it's a 6-foot wide dock, straight dock down to the end. And then I was coming on the way back. I was about 2/3 of the way back, coming off the dock, when the three girls came around the gate, that the ramp gate, which it's more like 20 feet away, but from the edge of the dock. The oldest one was in front, oldest girl. There were three younger girls there. And they hesitated briefly, which I thought they were hesitating so I could get off the dock, because that's a lot of people on a small dock. However, that didn't happen. They started running up the dock. I immediately locked Maya down, in the sense that the leash we have her on also has a 12-inch handle. So I grabbed that to hold her in place, because again, I wasn't sure how she may react to people coming at her. And so I had her right by my side, because there was not anywhere else to go on this dock. Neither dog was barking. I could feel the tension in Maya's body, but she wasn't barking, and she did stay in place. When the girls got to us, which was very quick, the oldest one was in front, hesitated just for a second to say hi and try to pet my other dog, Spartacus. And when that happened, the second girl behind her had gently pushed to move the youngest girl behind her, because there was no room so that they could get by. They had to go single file. And with that movement, it pushed the young girl's arm right at Maya's mouth, and she bit. And I immediately told her to release, and the other girls kept moving. Maya did release. She definitely had her hard. I couldn't see through the sweatshirt anything as far as like what, but I was right down at her level. When she released, I pulled backwards, which is what Ms. Philpott was referring to, is that I had pulled her, actually, because of the lack of space on the dock, and pulled her right off the edge of the dock, all except for front paws, which I got her back on immediately, because I was making sure that the girls were moving on. I had Miles still in control. It was at that time when I saw Miss Philpott and a gentleman who was with her from behind the gate. I couldn't see the golf cart from where I was, but they came, and Miss Philpott ran up asking what was happening or what happened, and I told her go check on the girls. The youngest one got bit. My dog bit her. So I said, I'm going to keep Maya in place. My goal there at that point was to stay calm, make sure the girl was okay, and that my dogs remained under my control at all times. Maya did not, again, there was no barking going on, and Maya did not go after Ms. Philpott. I had her at that point right on the edge of the dock where I had pulled her back up. Ms. Philpott went right to the girls to check on her. When I saw that she was with the girls, they were probably 10 feet up the dock at this point. I told her that I was going to take my dogs off the dock, and I was going to go around into the grass and wait so that she could get the girls off the dock, get them taken care of, and I would wait away from the dock and the golf cart as well to ensure that or until the girls were safely off and taken care of, so that I could give her my contact information. Again, I could not see the wound. However, it was pretty clear to me as soon as Ms. Philpott saw it and one of the older girls saw it that it was clearly bad. It was severe, which is horrible. And again, to hear that they thought I was not empathetic to that, I'm mortified that that's how I came across, because I certainly was. But I was trying to keep calm and stay in control so that we could make sure that the girl was taken care of, and also that the situation and the panic and or the not the panic, but of course it was very stressful for everyone, that it didn't rile my dogs up at all as well. So I waited. Miss Philpott got the girls to the gentleman and on the golf cart, and then she asked if she could get my information from the golf cart, which was completely fine. I understood why she didn't want to come over at that point. And I gave her my contact information. I waited again with my dogs in place, controlling Maya by the 12-inch leash nearest her collar until the golf cart had gone up the hill and was completely out of sight before I walked home, since my home was on that same path. They came back, I guess now I know I was with the Miss Philpott's mom. As I got to my house, I put the dogs inside. Ms. Philpott's mother asked me what happened. I told her this same thing. She asked what type of dog Maya was. Excuse me. I did tell her that, of course, you know, we are covered. We would take care of any payment of injury. That I purely meant that as that was the last thing they needed to worry about at this point. I wanted to make sure that they knew that they had my information. We would take care of that. Just take care of the girl, and we will. I mean, it's as far as logistics goes, they didn't have to worry about that point. That was my thought on where it was coming from. I definitely was never dismissive of the injury. I didn't see it until I saw the horrific pictures that you've shown, Kara, and this the little girl that got the stitches. She sent me that photo, and which again is, I agree with everything she said about the little girl. Well, it's super brave, and Ms. Philpott was outstanding. And it was, my dog did not attack. My dog didn't jump, didn't lunge, didn't shake. When that arm was pushed to her mouth, she did bite. We have since I did, after that, after speaking with Ms. Philpott, they came back again with the father. I told him the same thing. He expressed the severity of the wound, which again was horrifying, horrible. It's awful. And I again made sure he had my information, but the gentleman who was with Miss Philpott, when the mom came back, he was the one who said to me, he said, "You dismissed it as if it was nothing." And I said, "I absolutely did not. I'm not sure what you heard, but I didn't see it at all." I said, "My only concern was making sure she was okay. And then secondary, that they got my information for follow-up." And so I'm not sure what he heard, but he did express that he thought I had said something, but I definitely did not. Like I said, I hadn't seen it at that point, but it didn't matter because I was right there. And when I had Maya down there, I saw her bite. So definitely that occurred. That she did not redirect. That I don't understand. She did not redirect. She did not make an attempt to go up the dock further for the kids or whatnot. I think she bit because she was suddenly surrounded by small children, and I don't know, it wouldn't make any difference if it was small children, probably. But it was me and my other dog, and there was nowhere for us to go. I locked her down so she couldn't move, and tried to keep that space when I saw the girls were coming and weren't stopping. And unfortunately, the worst case, or pretty close to the worst case scenario, happens. We have, because regardless of what is upheld and what is not, we want to make sure that Maya is safe. Certainly the community feels safe. Those are important, especially when you're rescuing a dog with a traumatic past. We want to make those accommodations, not accommodations, but to make sure that we are doing our due diligence. So we have already put up the wiring to prevent any fingers going through on the sides of our yard. We do have a full enclosed yard. We've added the bolts, the closing, automatic closing, the locks. Our property sits back 50 feet from the road, so the fences are 50 feet from the road. Those are the ones that need the additional pickets on the inside. It's not an overlap fence currently; it's a side-by-side fence with the pickets. But we're planning on getting those as soon as we can get the pickets in, getting those put up. We've also ordered we had to order a special type of storm door for the front door for the second barrier, because regardless, we don't want to take a chance that she could get out. She can't now with the fence. I don't know what they're talking about as far as other incidences, other than when we first got her, which was a year ago in January. We originally didn't have the big fence. We had an invisible fence that our other dog had done well with. Maya was starting to looked like she was having protective behavior, and had barked at the neighbors when they went by, and we could see it was not improving, and it was causing her anxiety, and I'm sure it was causing those people that were walking by. So we built a fence that completely closes in the backyard, so she has no access to the full 50 feet in front of the house at all anymore. And we put that in. We've had it now for a year, not a year, a little less than a year, maybe 9 months. I'm not exactly sure when that went in. So that's all I can think of to that, because she has not been out since then. She's not ever allowed free. She is muzzle trained. She will not be going anywhere without a muzzle. Again, because we don't know what's going to happen. There was nobody around, and then all of a sudden we were surrounded and trapped in an area we couldn't move, and Maya bit. And regardless of anything, that is absolutely unacceptable. So, and it happened. So she has a muzzle. She doesn't leave the house without one. We don't actually take her out for walks now. We just run around the backyard for exercise and play with her out there. But if we go anywhere to the vet or anywhere else, she has a muzzle. We have 2 extras in each of our cars, just so if she was ever in there and didn't have it from the house, we definitely have it. So we want to do the steps that we can, because they're the right thing to do, and we want to have those precautions in place, again, to make sure that the community feels safe as well. This incident, though, it was a lot of poor things, that just unfortunate circumstances that lined up all at once, and that's what happened.
Thank you, ma'am. For clarification, could you please tell us exactly which items on the dangerous dog order you are appealing?
Yes, let me get my statement. The designation of her being a dangerous dog, because she was on a 6-foot leash with an additional safety handle. I was walking her on a 6-foot wide dock. There was nobody around or on it. When she was rushed she was rushed, and it wasn't even when she was rushed. It was when the girl's arm got pushed to her mouth, and then she bit. Was what happened. Um, the so, Number 2, confining her to a crate or a room with a key lock when the owners are not home. Or she does have a crate, and she is in the house. We request the modification as far as to when visitors are on the property and or in a locked home or property. For example, when the yard care would be coming, we would keep her in the crate, so there's no chance of her being anywhere near an open gate that might be opened or around people or whatnot. So number 5, the designation as a dangerous animal, which ties in with number 11, sending notice to the neighbors. Although we've already talked with our neighbors because we put the wiring up on the fence, so we explained why we did that. We have posted signage. We have not, the signs don't say dangerous dog. That was but they state don't put fingers through the fence. Do not open the gates without the owner present and permission. So we put signs by we have three gates total. Again, all of them are at least 50 feet from the road, but we want to make sure.
Excuse me if I can interrupt, Ms. Talbot. What exactly do the signs say?
Let's see if I have I might have a picture where I can just. Warning, beware of dog, keep gates shut, do not enter without permission or the owner's present. And beware of dogs, do not put fingers through the fence, dogs may bite.
Thank you. And you can go ahead now, please. Thank you.
So number 11, again, because all entrances from the fences have significant setback from the road or public access. And they are all padlocked as well as bolt secured, and post secured on the bottom. And the fence itself is also lined with a double brick, just as a extra backup if they were to dig. They haven't, but we're not going to take that chance. Number 3, I think number 3 was the automatic gate closures. We put one on the main gate, the person gate, but the big gates that open, like with the yard care, they're not opened unless Maya is already crated, so she can't get out. And so we are requesting that for the big gates that are, again, they stay locked unless Maya is already crated and confined. She wouldn't be out in the other platforms. The second barrier, that's on order. The 24th is when it's supposed to be installed, April 24th. Again, we already plan to puzzle her whenever she's out anywhere outside of the backyard. Just for make sure that nothing happens again. She is totally, or she is muzzle trained. She's done it before. Oh, and the number 13, I'm not asking for anything on this one. She does do behavior modification, or she has had it in the past. She actually has a follow-up appointment with her behavioral doctor, for lack of a better word, this week on the 8th. but as far as additional training beyond that, we're also looking into that as well, because regardless of if she goes somewhere outside or not, or even in our yard, more training is always, the more safe we can help keep her. And then, you know, the community obviously as well, it's what we want to do. So we're,
Hey, Jackie, is it okay if I interject and ask a question real quick? Ms. Talbot,
Absolutely.
you said the muzzle trained that she's worn it before, so she's needed a muzzle prior to this incident.
we had her muzzle, we did muzzle training with her initial, when we first trained her, just so that she was used to it. It was just recommended to us by her her former foster and the rescue organization, that because of her traumatic background, that it'd be good to train her on it just right off the bat, so that it wasn't, if it was needed, it wasn't something that we had to do, like it, she was already familiar with it. So the muzzle was part of her initial training, with just having it around and putting the peanut butter on, and then doing walks with it, so we would have it with that. So if we don't take her into any public spaces, but we wanted her trained if we did. But again,
What kind of muzzle is that?
it's and we did show it to her. It's the basket muzzle.
No, I heard that you mentioned it, so that just,
yeah. So
there
it was
was established need from the fosters in the organization that a muzzle might be useful for Maya.
Yeah, I mean, we did, when we rescued her, we got everything that they recommended: the muzzle, the collar that has the two parts.
But she wasn't wearing it. She wasn't wearing the day of the incident.
She was. The collar?
No, the muzzle.
Oh, the muzzle. No, she was not.
Yeah,
she was.
That's all I had, Jackie. Sorry.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, sorry, I did have one thing, that it was listed on this order that she is not licensed. I did find, and I sent it to Ms. Kifler this morning. I found it.
Yes, I replied to that. The license, like the regular license, it expired on the 31st of this year anyway, of March. But the dangerous order license is significantly different. So depending on the outcome of this case, you would have to either way redo the license. It's just whether or not it's going to be the regular one or the $125 one that's done yearly.
Right, and that's what I had emailed you about, and you said you recommended that we wait until today.
Yeah, because it was over the weekend, it wouldn't have gotten processed anyway until tomorrow.
And we wouldn't have known. So, but if she did have it, it says that she was not licensed at all, but she was at that time.
Okay, thank you very much, ma'am. Do you have anything further to add?
I don't believe so.
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Ms. Talbot? Then I want to clarify, Ms. Talbot, the items that you are actually appealing on the dangerous order, which would be, if I understood correctly, number 2, crating her in the home.
When the owners are not home, because no one can get in.
Okay.
Yeah.
So specifically crating when nobody's home.
Right.
Okay. And then number 5, the actual dangerous dog special license.
The designation as a dangerous
dog.
animal.
Yeah. And notice to your neighbors.
We've essentially already done that. So it written a letter, it wouldn't be that much more, but yes.
Okay. So you have actually done that.
Well, no, because the order specifically says a letter. And so we have not sent a letter. We've talked to them when we did put up the wiring of the fence. So it's not, I wouldn't say it's quite completed as written.
Okay, thank you. And then the automatic gate closure specifically on that large double gate.
Yes.
Okay. And then the signage, you have put up some signs, but
They don't have the dangerous.
in place of the dangerous. Okay. Am I missing anything on there?
I don't believe so.
Okay, I think we got that. So if there are not any further questions for any of the parties in this case, we will close for deliberations. And thank you all for being with us today. I'm glad that everybody is getting along better. And we'll just pray for the little girl's continued recovery. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, so I'll just start out with saying that I haven't heard anything to lead me to wanting to modify anything in the order. So I'll open it up to everybody else for your comments, please.
I was actually,
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, Greg.
I was actually going to agree. I didn't hear anything that could stop her or that would pertain or like a significant amount of evidence or a case here to even modify anything. So I, in my opinion, if I were able to make a motion, I would uphold the whole order in its whole entirety.
Thank you.
I agree.
Lieutenant McGrath?
I agree as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Stacy?
I agree.
Okay. In that case, I'm sorry.
I'm really concerned. Like, I know this dog is clearly an issue, but I'm just really like I feel like this owner was put in a really bad position with being, potentially boxed in on this pier. I feel bad for her, but I think at the same time, public safety wise, I don't know if anybody else, it just, this one's really sticking with me for some reason.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like if there are other affidavits that have been filed since, we're gonna see this again. Will someone make a motion then to uphold the dangerous order in total?
I make a motion to uphold the whole order in its entirety.
Thank you, sir. And a second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor of upholding the dangerous order, please raise your hands. All right, and that is unanimous. Thank you all very much. And thank you for all of your time. We just have our minutes from last time to approve. And a question for Autumn. Have we made any headway in being able to fill our veterinary vacancy?
No, but we were discussing this morning some ideas of potential people. We just have to talk to them. And then we also made a post on our Facebook for animal services that there are open, other open positions for the district. So we could try to fill that as well in combination with the vet. Yeah.
Does
but
the
we are still
veterinarian, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
Does the veterinarian have to be from a specific
No.
district? They could be from anywhere. I have a
Yes.
couple that are getting ready to retire. So do they need to be of any specific background or anything? Okay. I'll post to them. They're Anne Arundel residents and practice here. So
Oh, that would be great to have somebody who's retired and doesn't have to worry quite so much about their time. But I know from experience in retirement, I seem to be busier than ever.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
right.
If you just Stacy, if they are interested, it's not going to like show it as an open position. They just have to apply directly and just pick the commission. Because they're revamping the website.
Super. Okay, so hopefully by next time we will at least have a vet on board with us. That's always helpful, particularly, when we have these medical questions. So did everybody get their March minutes? And can I have a motion to approve them or to accept them?
Greg was not here, so he needs to abstain.
Thank you for that reminder.
I make a motion to approve the minutes as written.
Thank you. Second?
I'll second.
Thank you. All those in favor other than Greg, please raise your hand. Thank you. That's unanimous again. Thanks you all very much. This was a long morning. Some interesting points to it. So thanks so much. Really, really appreciate it. And Autumn will get our new minutes out when she has a chance to. I want to take a moment just to thank Autumn for all the work she does and how diligent she is in helping all the parties that are involved in our cases and support to us. She really does a fantastic job. So thank you, Autumn. And everybody enjoy the spring. And I'll see you in May.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Nicole. Second for adjournment.
I second.
Thank you. All those in favor? Thanks. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Have a good one.